Boys and girls, what is up? We're bar for bar here. Just done an episode with Curtis. It was a cracker. Talked all about layer cake, bit of the societal issues going on in Dublin. And man, we played a game as well. We were rating bad Chinese takeaways. So tune in, subscribe to the channel, man. If you like it, share a few of the clips, maybe tell a few friends, you know, get the ball rolling. But enjoy Curtis up next. Peace.
Are you gatekeeping, yeah?
This is Jack Harlow, is it?
Is it?
No,
Loyal.
but it's like
It
something
sounds
like
like something he'd jump on, doesn't it?
This is Ron's playlist just came on.
I was playing this on the piano.
Oh yeah?
you play on the piano.
What a flex.
No way.
I can play that on the piano, man.
Like
What you play?
slow down
Ding
version?
ding 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 ding.
Wow. Stripped down version.
Then Lil Wayne just comes in. I know these hoes ain't right. Class. Nah, man.
How are we feeling today, boys? How are we feeling?
Yeah, all right, man. Not too bad.
Yeah, no complaints.
Rough sleep
I'm a
though.
little bit sick, a little bit running down with something. But
Weird, man. This winter is weird, isn't
Yeah,
it?
everyone's sick, man.
few people around me were sick recently, so it was
Yeah.
like I kind of knew I was gonna get it.
Well,
That's
I went to the post office to go pick up a package. Literally, it was
Everyone's
pitch black.
sneezing with it.
It was pitch black.
Everyone was sneezing.
I don't know. Do you know it's when you're in shops now, everyone's just coughing and sneezing. It's like,
Nah, man. I had to get the 27 bus this morning, man. Oh,
that bus is the Matrix
that was
itself.
Oh, stop the 20 minutes. Do you remember the only time me and you ever got the 27? There was a scrap on
Yeah,
it.
man, face up, fell like all that.
Yeah, that was
That's-
hilarious. Oh, I was actually sitting. We told you this story before, didn't
I
we?
don't think so.
Man, we went into a gig. What was it? Was it Soul Juice? Or
me,
was
you, and Davey.
yeah,
What
was
the
it
fuck?
Soul Juice or was it something else?
It was something over the summer. I remember being a real hot day.
Yeah, it was mad hot.
We went into town to see. Wow, what did we go to see, man?
Because we were going to be late and all. Remember, we were kind of rushing. That's why we got to 27.
Yeah,
Was
Gee-
it Soul Juice?
I feel like it wasn't, man.
Okay.
I feel like it was something else. Cause Soul Juice, me and Davey met up. We went into town. Maybe it wasn't even a gig we were going to. It was the Paddy's Day thing, wasn't it? Remember when Cubana
Yeah,
played?
yeah,
I think
that's
it
what
might
it
have been
was.
that.
Yeah.
Some fella got his head caved in, man.
I was sitting. So we went onto the bus. The bus is packed. We're already kind of late. We went to the 27 because we were like, fuck it, loads of buses go by here.
Yeah.
27 put was the first one there. We were like, oh, and you even said it before or something like that.
I was dreading the 27.
Yeah.
Someone,
Yeah, I was like,
someone
whatever.
named it, someone was like, there's always fucking something on the 27, and then lo and behold, we go upstairs because it's packed. There's like, the boys jumped the first two kind of seats beside each other, and
Oh, you went down the back.
I had to go walking down the whole end because there was no other seats.
That's
so
brave.
I sat in, there was a fella sitting in the
There was a
back
seat
seat.
beside us, though. That was the mad part.
There wasn't really, man.
There
wasn't.
was. That's why I was surprised, man. 'Cause Curtis went down the back to all the
Was
hoodlums down there, man.
No, I think but there was the space seat, like, so I could sit by myself. But there was this young fella like this, like at the very back seat of it, and I just sat in front of him, and I was grand. Like I was just like,
Oh,
boy, I'm grand. You know what I mean? And I was kind of like, this fella's behind me, like just observing like things. Cause his behavior was a bit weird. Like he was a bit looked drunk and stuff like
Like
that.
he's
you know?
up to something.
He was
Yeah.
asking everyone
He was
questions.
talking to. Oh my god! Yeah, he was talking to the black fella beside him. Who was with his girlfriend, and he was just sitting there doing nothing. And I'm like, this is a bit weird or something like that.
What
and did
was
I
he asking?
move?
Huh?
I moved, didn't I? They were talking to each other, but I didn't know if it was
He was
anything.
asking about his clothes or something. He's like, oh, where'd you get this?
But he tried to
I was
talk,
like, I'm so happy I'm not down there, man.
he tried to talk to me as well, and then whatever, and I think someone moved up close to the boys. So then I actually got up and moved and went and sat in with the boys. So I was sitting in front of him, directly in the seat in front of him. Yeah. And next of all,
Did he say it, dude?
No, he didn't say that. No, I just jumped up and walked down. He was saying, that's what he was saying to me. Sorry, he was talking about my jumper. I had my yellow trasher jumper on, you know, the one with the skateboarder fella on it. And he was like, when I was walking down, he said nice jumper or something, but he said it in a kind of weird way, and I just looked at him or something. That was the first moment where I was like, something weird with him.
This
Or
chap's a
I was a
freak.
bit locked or something. So then I didn't like that I was sitting with me back to him, like, you know what I mean?
just got
I was like,
exposed.
so then when I got up and moved, then no mess, boys. About two or 3 minutes later, the black fella beside him just jumps up and just starts baiting him,
Yeah, man.
Really?
grabs him by the scruff, smashing his head off the window.
Into
and
the
all.
window, boy.
And everyone was like, oh, what the fuck? And some people were like, oh, leave it out, boys.
The
and all.
worst part was, remember you heard a bottle at one point?
Yeah,
Your
bottle
man, because your man was drinking a bottle, but when your man punched him and smashed his head off the window, he dropped the bottle and it rolled down the bus, and it was just like, oh my god, man, what are we about to see here?
Boy, your man had called him the M word, boys.
I think if you drop an N-bomb now, man,
Yeah,
if you
yeah,
get your
I know.
face smashed off a window,
Yeah.
it's fair game, man.
I think you
The
deserve to punch
the
them.
busman came up and kicked him off. I went downstairs
Yeah.
with your man. I said to the busman, he said that to him, like, don't kick him off the bus. And he was like, right, fair enough. Did he get off the bus? He stayed on the bus.
He stayed
with us.
on the bus for
He
a few
stayed,
stops.
on the bus and then he got off and I was like, fair play, bro. Because
Yeah.
he bet your man, but like,
Oh, it was
that's
a
what he
whooping,
should have
man.
done in that situation. Fuck that.
The noise of his head smashing out the window was gas, man.
I remember when he was the fella who got bet was getting off the bus. He got fucked off the bus instead of your man.
Yeah.
And everyone started cheering. And all. He started nearly crying. What did he say? What did he say again?
He was
like,
like-
what was all he saying?
Yeah, this is bollocks.
he went off like, oh, his tail between his legs. Like,
Always happens,
Just
though,
as
man.
deserved though. That sounds
Yeah.
kind of like a wholesome rap above it though.
Yeah.
but even
So wholesome, man. 27 bus, seen a man getting his face smashed off a window. No, but at
Where,
least
where does it go though?
it wasn't. It was just justice. What?
Where does the 27 bus go through? I've
It,
never
go,
seen
it goes
it.
down to
Tala and
it
Crumlin.
goes down to
Parts of
Crumlin,
Tala.
Tala, Crumlin, Cork Street, Dane Street.
Yeah,
it
it's
literally
those-
couldn't be worse, man.
It's
just
yeah,
the route that goes on is wild.
yeah.
Jeez, no.
But that was the maddest 27 story.
And
yeah.
then, do you not remember we got the 27 back then? A different day, and that was shy as hell. There's all the
Yeah.
Owens in front of us talking smack, man.
What were they saying?
I was trying to. Oh, man, I
Not
don't
listen.
know. They're talking about pictures in a Facebook album, and Chris, I don't know, man. I was trying to not listen. And then I put my earphones in, and they were dead. I was just like, oh,
Nothing worse than leaving the gaff with dead earphones.
yeah, it's a bit shy, innit? Bit shut up.
But boys, no,
Someone
no.
making a meal.
Yeah, young Becks.
Ah.
I thought it was your phone going off again.
That's what it was.
Starting in the vein where you want to go on with.
But yeah, like on that note, we are Bar for Bar, musical
Yup.
conversational
Yes, sir.
podcast. Yeah. Bang, bang, bang. Yo, this this is so dark outside, man. I was like,
Bro, it's depressing.
it depresses you. Like
Yeah.
it's 4 or 5 p.m. and it's dark. But we're gonna bring it up. Mick, how you feeling, man?
No, I'm good, man. Yeah, I'm good. I'm in the building, man. Happy to be here.
Lovely, Kev. How you feeling, bro?
Not bad. I'm feeling better. I was sick for like fucking 2-3 weeks, so I'm kind of happy to be nearly over that. So
Ah, that's good, man.
yeah,
It's been a sickly year for you, bro.
bro, I
Lazarus.
you and the Jesus references.
I'm gonna write a book about you one day, bro. The Chronicles of Kevin.
What are you gonna say?
Lol.
We'll write books about each other and swap them. How about that?
Oh,
That
that's
sounds
kinda-
kind of
that's
romantic,
kinda
man.
romantic.
You should be pen pals.
Pen pals. We were pen pals for a while.
Yeah.
Yeah, when Mick lived in Berlin.
Yeah, that's true, actually. That is true. That's a fact. Me and Kev hadn't met each other, man.
What
Yeah.
were you saying?
I can't remember. We used to chatting about music and shit, and sending stuff,
Stuff like
back and
that.
forth. Yeah,
That's cute, man.
yeah.
Those kind of things, yeah.
Yeah.
Those kind of
Nah, what are you talking about?
fucking mix like, is that all we work at?
What kind of girl do you think I am? Yeah, no, here, I have a new... Well, yeah, do you know what, man? We jump into a little game, boys, we?
I've asked you and Kev how you're feeling.
Yeah, you need to get
I've
the
already
booze.
kind of said, I don't know if the camera's caught up.
Oh,
I'm a little bit sick, a little bit under the weather. My
Yeah.
nose is a bit dirt at the moment.
On the
Taking
same.
any medicine, man?
Just painkillers.
No Calpol?
No, I'm not a child.
Yeah.
Bro, I
Don't
missed
know
gonna say it's
why I take
Calpol, not
Calpol
for the
anymore.
kids, no?
I missed the Calpol day.
You have
that
to
was
mix
so
it with
nice,
Sprite,
wasn't
bro.
it?
That's what you do.
Right, this guy.
Homemade lean over there.
Oh, man. Mix the Calpol with Sprite, man. That's a whopper one.
What was that medicine when you were a kid? Remember there was like a yellow one and I think a pink one.
Sensodyne.
And they
or
tasted
Remember the banana one?
amazing.
Banana
There was a
one?
banana one. There
That
was a
was
strawberry.
rank though.
Was there banana medicine?
I don't like banana flavour things.
I hate
Even though I
bananas.
love bananas.
So this is
I'm
the
actually
thing,
into it, man.
They used to be a lovely one that tasted whopper, but then I think they caught on to that it tasted good and people were like drinking too much of it, so they
Yeah.
made like a sugar free version and it just tasted
All
wrong.
the babies were going around with their jeans pulled down there.
I remember when it was like, because I always get sinus infections, and when I was a kid, I used to always get them, and I'd have to take this medicine, but I'd be looking forward to taking it. It was that tasty.
I remember.
That's bad, like.
Kev putting muck up his nose and all this shit. That's sick, so you get a little hit.
Just there, like,
But that's what medicine is, though, man. Think about morphine and all, man. People get addicted to that.
Well, that's on to the big pharma stuff. Then,
People
isn't
get
it? They're
addicted
getting
to
into all that. They're all made to make you want to take them again, and
Yeah,
need-
man.
Painkillers especially have a false sense that when
Painkillers
you
are
take them a
dangerous.
lot,
Yeah.
your body then starts to trick you to think that you need them.
Bro, but like, we had
Never- highly-
Calpol at such a
highly
young
addictive.
age, man. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Kind of programs, if you think about it.
There's plenty of documentaries on Netflix now that expose all the pharmaceutical stuff. It's
Yeah.
actually nuts.
Are you boys documentary people?
I love a
Yeah.
documentary.
Not mainly, but
Nah, good doc could do it for me, man.
Yeah, I'd actually take a good documentary over a film, to be honest.
What?
What?
Yeah.
Nah, that's a
A
mad
very,
show.
a very well made documentary
of
over a
course,
film.
if it's about some real
Yeah.
shit that's happening in the world, like that's better than fucking
Surviving.
some made up shit, like you know?
Yeah.
Surviving Brother
You
Love.
want it? The whole thing
Yeah,
of
like I'm watching that. Like
In saying that, good documentaries are hard to come by.
yeah,
Exactly.
because they're all this like even the Madeleine McCann and all. Sorry to interrupt you, but
Yeah.
it's all like they lead you on this emotional thing and then be like, well, actually no.
Oh, Netflix
You know,
the
all
bits,
the
man.
documentaries, every episode, you're like, this person definitely doing it, and then it's not. That it's like you're just cherry picking the information to tell to dramatize the story.
Yeah.
I want to get like right the fella who actually found the dead body, like or the detective. Like I want to see what he was doing for those 4 weeks or
But you're
something.
never-
You know
yeah,
what I mean?
never
I
gonna
want to
get
know
that
like
Yeah.
Yeah, because, man, let's be honest, boys. Lots of these documentaries are fake, man. A lot of false
No,
information,
but
man.
that's the argument is like, can anything be a documentary? Because it's like,
There's very interesting things
creating
that happen though.
narrative
Why
with
aren't
it, yeah.
people doing that? Because there is mad police cases and mad serial killers and things that have actually happened. Like,
yeah.
Yeah.
It's probably having rights to it, but is the Brother Love documentary getting made?
I don't know. He
Has
just
to,
made
man.
that up.
It
I
has
think
to.
he's manifesting over here.
Did you see what 50
From
Cent
50
put up?
Cent?
See what he threw up today?
Oh, is it actually?
He
real?
was
Sorry.
like, payback. He said something like, payback's a bitch, Brother Love. And it was like an AI generated picture of 50 Cent and Tupac taking a selfie together. And he threw it up on his page. I'm like, this chap is mad. But now, boys, just mind if I introduce a new segment to the show?
Come on,
Go
Michael.
on, go for it.
Right,
do it.
boys. So, obviously, we're bar for bar, right?
Yeah.
We do a few bar. We used to do a thing called a bar review, right?
I'll bring it back up.
Yeah. So we used to do a bar review, right? Where we pretty much review bars, rap bars, right? This time, boys, I want to change it up a bit. I want to get into the streets. I want to get into the psyche of Dublin, right? Bar for bar. But we're going to review shy takeaways on TripAdvisor. Now, hear me out here. Hear me out here, right? I'm going to read bad reviews on TripAdvisor, right?
Yeah.
For different places.
And we have to try to guess where it is.
No. I want you to rate the bars, man, because I found some poetry. Right. So the first place we're going for is Charlie's. Do you know?
So we're exposing the places.
Yeah.
There's gonna be a random
No, bro. This is Charlie's, right?
Man, you're got man. My community love Charlie's.
Yeah, Beckley
They
loves
probably
Charlie's.
wrote some of these
Black
reviews.
black people love Charlie's.
Everyone loves
Right.
Charlie. Well,
Man.
mind you love Charlie's.
Charlie's
When you're
is-
drunk at 3 in the morning on Saturday, you love
I've
Charlie's.
actually never had it, but Beckley raves about
Man, it's
Do
terrible.
white people love it as well?
Yeah, well,
Drunk people
yeah,
love it,
drunk
man.
people love it. Yeah.
it.
Oh man, like the way black people love Charlie's.
There's more authentic. There's more
Yeah,
authentic Irish Chinese takeaways like outside of town, like you know, like
No,
Dublin
I
and
just don't think
everywhere
Charlie's is
Ballyar
good
coming.
Chinese, man.
Yeah,
Every
it's
time
not,
I
it's
have it, the
greasy.
chips are rotten, the chicken's... Let's get into some of these reviews. Okay, you ready? So, Catherine D on the 4th of December. Here we go. So the title is No Thank You. The most...
Sorry, we already know the type of lady that this person is.
The most expensive €7 with no extras, and the worst spice bag I've ever had. It was dry, no veg, barely any chicken. The chips were stale, and any spice, in right inverted commas, that was on them was just salt. Now here we go, boys. Had about 5 chips and needed a full bottle of water. Rate these bars, boys.
Okay, out of 10 or out of 5?
Out of 10.
I'm giving that a 3, man. That's
3?
weak.
I'd give her
Yeah.
a seven. It was a little bit funny.
It got funny at the end.
Yeah.
Man.
The start was a 3 for me. Man.
That was a finish.
I'm
giving-
taking
I'm-
3 off her because the only bit of salt was on her. I think she was.
Yeah.
She was
Yeah.
five bottles of water. Yeah, you're fabricating.
5 chips. I needed a full bottle of
Oh,
water.
sorry. So
Yeah.
a full bottle.
Yeah,
of
yeah,
water.
yeah.
Sorry, I thought she said 5 bottles of water.
But if you need like 5 chips in a bottle of water, that's
I'm giving her a 6.
6.
I'm giving her a 6.
Right. I think I'm at 7 to be honest.
I thought it was.
I'll give her a
funny.
pity 5, Max.
Right, here we go. Next one. Don't even know. Y22HR, some mad name, right?
Same place?
Yeah, Charlie's as well.
Oh, this.
Absolute
shooting for Charlie's.
absolute waste of €8. Spent €8 on a spice bag with extra curry
You gotta
sauce.
charge an extra euro for your extra curry sauce.
Chips were cold and raw in the middle, right? And the chicken, right, in brackets, was rubber. I ate 4 little chips and put the rest of the food in the best place for it, the bin. Boys, this bars avoid at all costs. And then there's a picture and it looks dark.
Did I see the picture?
Looks shy, man.
Oh no, it doesn't look too bad from here.
Take a
Kev,
screenshot.
I don't know what you do.
I can't tell
What's your standard of
Let
living,
me see a
bro?
close up though. That's a small picture.
There isn't a big one.
Take a
It's
screenshot of that. So
He's not on the web. He hasn't screenshot.
I mean, that looks like it was taken in 2002.
I'm gonna give it a 7.
2021, 7.
7.
Yeah.
I'm gonna give it 6. I don't think that creative. I've heard way more
That's
creative.
perfectionist.
Yeah,
Perfectionist in his TripAdvisor reviews as well, bro.
To be honest, I feel bad that I gave that last lady a 7 because I probably think she actually deserved a 6, and this deserves
It's a step
6.5.
up.
Yeah,
It's a little bit. It's
It
a
was
little bit
funny,
better.
Yeah.
but it
It
definitely.
was more put together, better. I thought.
Yeah.
The other one was just like on Adderall or something like
It's
that. I mean,
alright.
she was
I'm
in
saying-
the
I'm
end.
bringing mine down to 6.5.
I'm saying 7.2, 7.3. I think it's a decent 7, man. Man,
If you compare
the
them
chicken
together,
was
next
rubber.
bar, come on, next
Yeah,
bar.
right.
Next one.
Right, 1 star. Crap food is the title. Ordered noodles in Georgia Street branch. Left it all. Tasteless broth, cheap noodles, and strange pink meat. wait. No, let me land this. Wait, this is a bar, right? This is poetry. Cheap noodles and strange pink meat floating in a soup of nothingness. Wait. Dot. Truly dreadful. Avoid at all costs. Rude workers.
I'll give that one a 7. That was poetry.
That's a 7.
That was poetry.
I'm giving that a 9, boy. I love that one.
I think that's an 8.
The nothingness. That was a
Say it one more time. Say it one more time.
Right, so he goes, crap food, ordered noodles in Georgia Street branch, left it all, tasteless broth, cheap noodles and strange pink meat floating in a soup of
That's the
nothingness.
best part.
Dot, truly dreadful. Avoid at all costs. Full stop, rude workers.
I like the soup of nothingness.
Yeah.
That's
I'll give it even
poetic.
a.
That's a bar,
I'll
man.
bump it up 7.5.
This is
just for
some
that
Kendrick
flat line.
Lamar.
I'm giving it a
fucking-
7.5 too.
Right.
Now here
I'll
we
go
go.
8.5. I just caught in the moment. But I just loved it. The way it rolled off.
I
his
just think
tongue
we're
there.
gonna get some
It
bags
was
of
the pink
crackers.
meat as well. That was the best.
Soup of nothingness, man. That's a cracker. Alright, we have David Spurs here on June
Full name.
2018. Disgusting. I hate writing negative reviews, but I feel I have to tell people so they won't waste their money. I work near Charlie's and I ordered a spike box. He spelled that wrong, but it's okay. After work last night,
You can tell he's so angry.
I can honestly say it was one of the worst meals I've ever had. It was disgusting. The chips were soggy and the chicken was as tough as a pair of boots. I went up to complain and got no joy whatsoever. Staff did not want to know. I say I took 4 bites of the meal and the rest went straight in the bin. Avoid at all costs. There are better places in Dublin to eat. What am I
Everyone's
thinking?
saying avoid at all
Oh
costs.
yeah.
I
And
don't
it's
know. I
always
didn't think
4
that
or
was. I didn't think that one was that creative. I give that.
I give that a 4 or 5.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
it
wouldn't
wasn't
give that a
creative.
strong one.
Chicken tough as a pair of boots gave me a chuckle. Okay.
Well,
What you
hang
think?
on. When he says that he works somewhere nearby, do you reckon it's in a fellow competitor
Ooh.
establishment? Because we're seeing two reviews now that said avoid at all costs. There's some repetition coming on
Yeah,
here.
because that is a bit
If you
bit
were
of
a
a shout.
linguist, you'd be reading into these things like.
Bit of a shout, Curtis.
Well, we're
Can
not
I-
linguists,
can
so
I
I'm
ask
gonna
a
go
question?
7.5.
Go ahead.
I would have been of the opinion that Chinese was doing good.
I would've thought
Not
so.
man, they're
Boys.
making a cash hand over fist, Ron. They're making too much money.
Complaints, people complain like more than they're gonna
Give
give
a good
positive
review.
energy
Yeah.
off of. So.
Charlie's is the worst takeaway I've ever had, man. I might get on this
But how did you come about? What made you choose Charlie's?
Yeah.
because it's the worst takeaway I've ever had. And I was like, "What's the worst takeaway I've ever had?" Charlie's typed it in, looked at the reviews,
Oh, for it.
and I was like, I have to bring this to bar for bar."
Is there another restaurant that you
Yeah,
have?
or we just
No, it's,
Fucking
I think
wailing on
each
Charlie's.
episode I think we'll do a different
A
one.
different-
Yeah.
you
okay.
should have said it's a like you should have said it was called Marley's or something like that. You know,
Yeah.
just like just
Why?
for so you don't get sued or anything.
Yeah.
Like
Dude,
What if you,
this is public
Hold on.
information.
Layer
What
Cake
if
is
one
not
night
affiliated
we
with this
decide to go on
message.
the Charlie's and they'd be like you,
Grand, I'll take it.
and then they just tell you to get out.
grand, I'll go somewhere good.
Yeah, he doesn't want to go, Charlie.
Charlie's dirt.
You're gonna be on the
Alright.
blacklist on the wall.
There's like a few more, so I'll just do one more, right? Because I think I've done a good
Yeah.
few. So this one's a thesis, so I'm just gonna. The thing is duped big time, and I'm gonna speed run it to a point because I think at a certain point to hit a streak. So this woman went for drinks with her Irish friends. They said that this place served good Chinese food. She was skeptical, but they gave me a testimonial that a Chinese friend of theirs enjoyed it. I became hopeful. You see, I had only left.
Testimonial from one Chinese person.
So you see, I had only recently left Canada, the land of amazing Asian food. Like an addict, I felt Chinese food withdrawal. Soon after, I sought it out everywhere I could, even when I shouldn't. You ready for this? Now wait for this. This is theatrics here. The moment I walked in and looked up at the menu, I knew it was not meant to be.
Going into a negative, like.
Oh God! But our mate had accompanied us, declaring his love for the place, and it was too late to walk out. Sat right, so I skipped in now. This is a mad thing, boys. You should read it in your spare time. People watching do the same. Sat down with my polystyrene container and was so looking forward to it. There was about 3 pieces.
Wait, hang on. Sorry, this is
She just
hypocritical.
said that she wasn't looking forward to
She
it.
just said she wasn't looking forward to it.
maybe
This
mine,
person's
lady.
unhinged, man.
There was about 3 pieces of dry fried chicken, but it could have been anything, as it was fried within an inch of its life. Vile. I couldn't even try the chips, and they looked way too greasy and dry too, if that's even possible. He's defying physics here, man. Defying nature on this. Went back up as it was inedible, and then got Singapore noodles. That wasn't bad. Ate it all as I was starving, and had a few nice big, frozen, obviously in brackets, prawns. It was also so greasy. The worst of it had to be the staff. I work shift too, so understand. It's harder working 9 to 5. They were unbelievably rude and couldn't even answer a simple question. I asked to speak to a manager, and they just laughed and said, "No here." Customer service didn't exist, and this is a banger, boys. Customer service didn't exist, and a smile was out of the question. This is a 10. This is a 10. And that's not the whole thing, man. That's an excerpt.
That sounds like a book, man.
I'm giving that a good 8.5.
That's strong.
Because I feel like we're gonna get a 10, and it's gonna be.
And you're there. You're there in the story, man.
yeah.
You're in the midst of it.
Yeah, that one captivated me the most.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that was 10.
I'll give it a 9.
9.
Yeah, I'll give it a 9.
Boys,
I'll give it
this
8.5.
has been bar for bar reviews.
That was great. That was brilliant.
Yeah,
I
we'll
like
be,
that, yeah,
we'll
that's
be
a
back
nice one.
next week, man, to do another few, yeah?
Yeah.
Well, you have to pick a different restaurant now.
Ah, of course,
Yeah.
yeah. One every week it's gonna be a new spot.
Maybe
man, but-
we'll get people to send submissions in.
yeah,
Yeah,
that's what I'm
please,
thinking.
please, yeah.
Here, people watching at home and sending the worst ones, but I know which one I'm doing next.
Could we get a teaser?
Yeah, Babylon.
Babylon.
Yeah.
That place that plays music.
All the
and
guy heads go to it, man.
Wow.
on Wexford Street.
There's a few famous Google reviews online, man. Like,
I
security
think
slide tackling people and all. Don't
I
worry.
know, but I don't know it.
I think I know it. That place, it's like Copper Face Jack's but in full
Yeah,
version.
it's
Yeah.
like the
Oh,
after session of
Copperface
Copperface
Jacks.
Jacks.
Like
Do you say full
Oh
word?
yeah, is this in Temple Bar?
It's
Is this like this-
no, it's
it's not
just
an Indian spot?
Georgia Street kind of
yeah,
place.
Sorry.
it's
I
like
bought
a
a bottle of
Matrix
wine out
place.
of an Indian spot in Temple
I
Bar.
know the
thought it was
spot.
that.
I know
Yeah,
the spot.
yeah.
No, it's not that
Yeah,
place.
it's like after hours, like.
all I'm saying, boys, all I'm saying is they named the restaurant Babylon.
Okay.
What did they expect? That's all I'm saying, man. Right,
Oh god.
Well, man, give our man here, our
man.
guest, a little bit of a
Right,
an
we need
intro.
to
introduction.
talk.
Intro.
We need to talk about this, man. One of the most captivating come ups in the rap game that I've seen, man. Went from playing the Vision Lab open mic to putting out a full album. The progression you've been on, man, it has just been nuts. Lil Tree, man, personal favorite track. Like, I think we all love that song, right?
Yeah.
Well, like 3 in the morning.
Cracker, Layer Cake, I Need verse, one of the best verses
Yeah.
of the year as well.
Thank you.
I think I don't know, man. I feel like you're like the best kept secret at the minute, man. Do you know what I mean?
Thank you.
That's how I'm viewing him, man. I feel like Larry. Do you know what I mean?
I'm just laughing because I'm just looking at it.
I feel like you put out a seriously good body of work, man. And I'm not just saying that because I helped with it and I was there, but like, man, if I kind of wish Men in Black is real, man. You know.
So you
So
could-
yeah, man.
Yeah.
I'd love to listen to Layer Cake for the first
Real
time, man.
Kanye
But,
thing, isn't it? It's like
Yeah.
I'll never know how my own music sounds for the first time.
but if I'm being completely honest, though, man, I think you put out a great body of work, man.
Cheers, bro.
Ladies and gentlemen, Curtis.
I
Thank
love
you.
how we just go.
Are we gonna start
I thought it was gonna
clapping?
be clapped around.
Yeah,
Okay.
that
But,
felt right.
I know,
Promise.
and I can tell the seriousness of this because you're wearing jeans. You know, you really
I was
he went all out for me tonight,
was-
didn't he?
I
He's
was-
wearing the jeans, boys.
Are they jeans?
I've never seen this before.
Man, they're Levi's. They're new technology, man. It's like jeans. It's like jeans,
They kind of
but
look like tracksuit bottoms.
yeah,
they
but
look
it's
like
new.
jeans.
It's new technology, boys. Yeah,
Look at the
Interesting.
tread on them, man.
exactly.
Yeah,
But
this
it's
is-
just from here they look like tracksuit bottoms. But also at the bottom, yeah, that's mad. I didn't notice that.
It's open to interpretation. It's normally I wear the dress shoes with these, the pointy ones, but I'm like, I'm not gonna do that. So I'll wear these
I'm not
ones.
gonna do that.
I do whatever I want. I say whatever I want.
Yeah,
But man,
thank
Curtis,
you. I
yeah.
appreciate it.
But
Man,
yeah,
thanks for the
welcome,
intro.
man.
Thanks,
man.
Of course, bro. But nah, man, honestly, I think the come up that you're on is sick, man. And the thing is, as well, it's that kind of thing where anyone that I know that has listened to Layer Cake, seriously good feedback, man. Proper.
Yeah.
But this is what I'm saying, man, and I think you know it too, man. It's like you have stuff. Obviously, we're gonna talk about in this episode what you're planning to do, like to obviously to promote the album. There's things around it, you know, to kind of create a bit of a world around it. But I honestly, man, when people catch on, brother, whew, shit.
It's only a matter of time now, isn't
Once
it?
NCAD hears this album, man. once they get a hold, man, it's gonna be class. But no, man. To talk a bit about your project, Layer Cake. So people watching, if you haven't heard it, like let's just say someone's new in, right? What was your inspiration behind Layer Cake? Like what? Because obviously it's a very personal project, right? You delve into a lot of different themes. But the one thing is, and we were kind of talking about it before, it's like being inside your head for like these 10 tracks.
Yeah.
So like, where did that come from? Like, where did the idea for Layer Cake, and what is Layer Cake as well? Obviously for
Yeah.
new
I think
people
to
watching.
answer first, I think I need to address the first point.
Of course,
that
man,
you're
yeah,
saying.
go
the
ahead,
first
man.
point about like the not the come up, more the entrance, like you know the how I got into it, say just at the start, because that's all when all these songs started to kind of come together as well, like loosely. I know a lot of them have been last little while with me and you, but
Yeah.
the whole concept around Layer Cake was all around that. But
Yeah.
I first done. I know we've chatted before on the podcast about doing like the open mic stuff and all that as well. But just for anyone that's like new that doesn't know that, I done your show for the open mic little 10-minute slot kind of thing, and from there just started to do like more gigs, and always wanted to drop a project because I'm a person that loves albums and loves that kind of side of music as well. Like that's what I do, would be listen to an album rather than listen to songs or make playlists or
Yeah,
do stuff like
same,
that. Yeah, I'd always kind of drop, even if it wasn't for the whole album, even if I'm dropping in for, I love the way those 3 tracks run into each other. I love the way those this plays this part of it, like,
So like
you know,
the sequencing, the tracks and stuff, yeah.
for different feelings and stuff like that. So I've always been doing that. So I always wanted to make a project. So after kind of the year of just doing gigs and dropping a single, dropping the Lil Tree music video, like doing these little kind of things to build up the profile to get to this place, all the while kind of still working on the tracks in the background to get there. But that's just like kind of what I was physically doing, like going around, you know what I mean, like in a deeper level, like spiritually and all, or emotionally or anything like that. I was pulling these songs together through my vision of what I wanted to put forward on the album, which was like what I respected in other people's music, which was telling a story, being vulnerable, giving a part of yourself. And like, I don't know if everyone does this or not, but what I wanted to do was to try and connect as well with other people.
Yeah.
Be like,
Definitely.
I feel this way and I know you do too, kind of thing, you know.
Yeah.
So I kind of wanted to do
It's
that, and
important,
then I
man.
also wanted to chat around the community element stuff. I know we'll chat about that too, but
Yeah, 100%. We
I
need to
feel
get
like
into that, man.
my project goes from like the perspective of the individual, and then it goes outward to like looking at kind of the people around and society and different things like
Definitely,
that. After kind of the Sorry Little Life, really like the split after that point. But
Such a good song.
there's
man.
like a good, like, even if you're focusing on just the individuals, like, well, you're affected by all these external things as well, like, you know.
Yeah.
So it's always playing into your story and into you and everything that you are. So that's what I wanted to do, especially for a first project as well. It's like I want to tell people who the fuck I am, like,
Yeah.
and it's an introduction to me, like, you know.
Yeah,
Yeah.
100%,
It
man.
needed to be raw, needed to be honest, like all these things. So that's what I was
Yeah.
trying to
Yeah.
do with it. So yeah, I just built up the confidence kind of through Lil Tree and Civil, and then was like, right,
Tracks.
I have enough now that I can drop this
Drop
kind of.
Can I ask you, actually, what was the first song that I suppose made you realize that, like, oh, I suppose I want to make a project, or like, was it like a song you'd made years ago? We always like, obviously you were saying you always wanted to make a project, but like, was there one song where you're like, okay, this is the start of something?
Yeah, I'd see. I've always probably been making a project. Like,
Just
you know what I
to-
mean?
You just haven't
Never made songs, man. Just
Yeah.
like I'd have 70% of beats done, and I'd have like 16 beats, and I'd have like 4 verses, and I'd be like, right, I only need to do 17 more verses, and this album's done. Like, you know, and then I don't like the song anymore. Get rid of that. Get rid of this.
Yeah.
So I've always had like a list of about 12 to 16 songs that have been like the Premier League every year getting relegated, the bottom 3, and new ones coming in, and it's been this fight for like
Yeah.
for
That was
hierarchy.
actually a good metaphor.
That's what
man.
it felt
Yeah,
like.
yeah.
And then within the last year and a bit of
Yeah.
being with you and stuff, honing in on, right, what do I actually keep? And it wasn't because it was for a few. It was actually a bit multifaceted. Like, one reason is like I probably wasn't ready as a person to be a musician yet. Like, in terms of standing on it and being like, this is who I am.
Yeah.
Another thing, I didn't know what I wanted to say or what story I wanted to tell.
Okay.
So I feel like we're a bit more skin on my teeth now. Like, I'm a bit older now, so I feel like I have a perspective on things as well.
Experience.
And I
as well,
have
man,
like
yeah.
things I value, and like I'll get into it more later, like
Yeah.
talking about the topics of the album, say.
Yeah.
But there's a few different reasons why I didn't get to that stage of being able to drop the project. So I've always been doing it. Layer Cake, because I remember I used to work in Ryanair out I was doing like a business graduate program thing,
Oh,
and I
you
worked
got
out there for 2 years, and I was out there like, and this is what like was like killing me, was like working that job and like trying to do this project on the weekends and stuff. You know,
Yeah,
I
it's
done a
not
lot of
a-
traveling with Ryanair too. Like, I would have to fly to other bases to do training, like, or to give people training, or
Oh shit.
all these things. Like, I was doing audits, mad shit over there. Well, I was constantly flying around, like, and you can't make your beats and do your stuff. You're working, so all you're doing
Off
is
2
thinking
days,
about
yeah.
it. Then you got home and you're tired and you're trying to make songs, and it was never gonna work, kind of thing. Like, and it was only then when I got kind of within the year and a half ago that I was like, right, I got closer to me ideal of what I wanted to say.
Yeah.
And then I feel like we just put the work in to get it done. Then,
Okay.
sorry, you want to say something?
Yeah, I think you might already answered what I wanted to ask you. But what was your first point? You said with the album, or with you being a musician. What was your first point you came up with? You said.
He wasn't standing on, or he wasn't
Yeah,
ready.
I wasn't
to,
ready. Yeah, I wasn't ready to be an artist. Like,
Let's unpack that. Like, what does that mean? Like, because like, obviously, like, people who listen to this
Yeah.
are fans of music,
or our musicians
or are
as well,
musicians,
yeah.
and
Or any kind of creative.
are might be trying to drop their own project. But like, what you mean about that first phrase that you said?
Can I just add a little sprinkle onto that?
Go on, man.
What got you into the mindset of like, okay, I'm an artist now?
Yeah.
How do you arrive there, man?
It's not, for me, it's not something that it's like I have that now and I always have it. Like, do you know what I mean? I think it's in levels, like, because if I walked into a room now and I was with like Drake and Madonna and stuff like that, I probably wouldn't feel like much of an artist then, like, do you know what I mean? Or, you know, I'd have like these little crises or whatever like that. But what I mean is, like, the mindset changed from doing it as well, getting out there, proving to myself that I could do it, like doing the shows, rapping well, sounding good, not like needing anything mad to make it go my way. I didn't have singles out, like there was a load of things going again. I was just like, no, I'm actually good, like, and it was validation through experience nearly.
Nice.
But that goes up and down. Some days you don't feel that way. You know? Some days you don't feel the best of that, like, you know. But that's constantly gonna be like a tug of war with your spirit. But that's what got me to that mindset. But you were asking me something else as well.
Like, it's pretty much there.
Sorry, I didn't know if there was a part of it I was missing
it's
to
there.
answer.
And the question just escaped my mind, bro.
Well, can I ask a question about the album?
You go from there.
So, like, okay, talking about some of the themes on the album, right? Oh,
Before, because
no, go on,
We
yeah.
won't get back to this.
Yeah.
Yeah, because
Go.
what you're saying is like a lot more deeper. This is just to
No, go
lead
ahead, Ron,
on
go
to it.
ahead. Take it away.
So with making an album, obviously this is your first album, and you said like you had a bunch of songs, and then some got relegated. But like when you decided, okay, I'm gonna make an album, like what were the songs that you actually had on the album at the time, and what are the songs that actually
Remained.
remained?
Right. So, Sorry Little
That's a
Life.
good question, man.
Sorry Little Life I had. Days Long I had, Objects I had,
I think you had the first part of Fresh Faced.
Fresh
There was an idea
Face,
for it.
Face and Stuck I had. Always had that. Like I've had that for a while now, like 2 years. I've probably had Stuck B.
And actually, just for people watching a bit of Lore Cake,
Yeah.
those were 2 separate tracks as well.
Yeah, we'll get to the Lore Cake.
Don't get ahead of it. Let's get to the foundation.
So excited, man. It's like a kid watching the toy show.
Yeah, I need to get water, boys.
Oh, sorry, man. Sorry, bro.
And so that's about maybe 5 or 6 songs
Yeah.
that you had.
And then the newer
Okay.
ones as like Lil Tree would kind of nearly be pushed into that older category now, just because that song, like I've done that like nearly a year ago, it feels like now or something. As in like when
probably,
I
yeah.
first had it when I was,
Wasn't it?
yeah, like that was a year ago already and some change, you know. So that kind of gets into, or can be in that kind of side of it. But then I have songs like The Lion, Three Best Friends, Civil. They're all the Headspace.
Yeah.
They're all the newer ones. They kind of came at the end.
Yeah. Can we talk about Little Tree for a second, actually?
Yeah,
'Cause
yeah.
I find that an interesting track that you said you wrote that the night before. Was
Not
it
the night before, it was like 6 days before.
But it was
before a
very
gig.
fast when you wrote it, wasn't it?
Yeah, so I had like
Before a gig.
so I had I done 10 minutes at the Vision Lab open mic, and then this gig came up then because my friend Casey was organising the gig, and they gave me 15 minutes, and I was like, shit, I only
I don't
got
have
10
enough
minutes. I was like, I'm only 10 minutes, like I could have used something, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But then that's when I was like, right, it was like a rainy day, I sat in on a Sunday and I went through YouTube and I was looking at beats and I found this beat and I was just like, I'm gonna write to this, and I wrote the whole thing, not the whole thing, probably like 70% of it in like that first hour of just sitting with the beat. Wrote
Class,
it,
man.
had the had the flow, had everything, and then I think I added bits onto the end of one of the verses like a day or two later to finish it. But then I performed it and it felt so nice, and I was just like, this is the one that got the most kind
Yeah.
of feedback off the crowd and stuff, and
'Cause
they liked it the most, and I just
that's,
ran with that
um,
then, like.
That's what I was going to ask, because I feel like with a lot of tracks you kind of revisited and you reworked and you wanted to like obviously refine them and stuff. But with Little Tree, it seems like it was kind of the opposite of that, where it was like you were just like, I'm just going to make this and it is what it is. So that's what I was going to ask, like, is your process kind of normally, or have you, I don't know, have you changed your approach on song right now because of that?
Yeah, well,
One song that kind of you were like, maybe from that you realize like, oh, I actually don't need to be so strict with it or like revisit it so much.
Well, one thing
Oh,
I know what you're gonna say.
yeah, I
Don't
looked at him
worry,
there, I was like,
don't worry,
yeah.
I know what you're gonna say. With Lil Tree, right, and give me a bonus point if I've got this correct, right? So
Let's go.
with Lil Tree, the way I actually perform it is even still today I perform it with more energy. Do you know what I mean? Because it's so I wrote that to perform, so I rap it at a high energy. If you listen to the actual like Spotify track,
It's more chilled down.
relaxed, and that's only something that we did when we were actually physically recording it. So it was always a born little tree in the morning, born little tree when it's starting, and then it became born little tree in the morning, born little tree when it's born.
remember
It just goes so
No,
well.
so
man.
it went
Yeah.
down to that then from that. So yeah, we were listening back and
There
we
was-
felt the energies didn't match the beat.
There
Was
was
so
one,
relaxed.
There was one part. It was like near the end of it, man. I think it was one of the last lines. You kind of said it in a chilled voice, and we were like, "Man, that bit's actually really good." I was like, "Okay, what if I do another line like that?" And then it was eventually like, "Why don't we just redo the whole song like that?" And then we done it, and it just
So much
it's
better.
a beautiful song, man. It's
Yeah,
a
it
really
is.
good track, man.
Yeah. So in terms of your question about the process and stuff, no, it's always chop and change. And I think,
Yeah.
and like you might get like mad and divine inspiration one day and script together some beautiful thing. Like, but
Yeah.
for the most part, I'm always going back and changing. Just
Chipping away at it and stuff.
yeah. Even sometimes it's just a flow thing. It's not about what I'm saying. It's just about, can I take these two words out and chop in
Just to
that
make it
pocket a
flow a
bit
bit
easier?
better.
Yeah, like is that.
Oh
Yeah.
man,
That's what I would try to do when I
Yeah,
revisit
yeah.
stuff, you know. And that's because, man, there's one thing writing lyrics, there's another thing rapping them into the mic and into the
100%.
booth, because then you realise your own limitations. So easy to write a lot of words and not really know how it sounds and just focus on it ending with need, bleed.
yeah.
You know, it's like, but then when you actually rap it out,
Oh,
this
man.
does not make sense. Like in the flow, as there's no cadence, like
100%,
flow in the cadence. Like.
Yeah.
So that's something that I always go back to when I'm in the room.
Yeah, I think I wanted to ask because it was one of them things, I don't know, you don't really hear a lot of people talking about. And I think for anyone, I don't know, who's even making music themselves, especially even myself, I think I found it like, sometimes you get caught up in how long it takes you to do something. Like writing, finishing songs and stuff, you'd be a bit like, oh fuck, like this is taking me ages.
Yeah.
But I think sometimes some songs take ages and some songs don't, and it's just,
Yeah.
it is what it is, you know what I mean?
course,
Well,
like
yeah.
beats, man. Like you can make the best beat of your life in 10 minutes, or
Yeah.
you could
Yeah.
take 5 hours and it'd be shite. Like,
One thing, just to throw in like a comment, man. One thing that I love about Layer Cake, just from listening to it, like seeing the process, was how much you actually did chop and change songs. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like there's certain songs like Headspace, man. I think probably that was like such a good one too. But it's a lovely song, but just working on that, man. Like the loop, you rapping on it, you adding more in, getting Julie in, getting James Shannon in, me putting the synths in at the end.
the layers and the cake.
Do you know what I
Yeah,
mean?
you had that was
Yeah.
just getting stacked. Yeah.
So like I saw that, and I don't know, man. It makes me appreciate the project
Of course,
even
man.
more, man. You know.
Yeah.
I was gonna burp. I was gonna burp there. I was like, held it back.
Yeah.
No,
No, do you have more to say?
I was gonna go into the album, but if you have something else, man, go for it.
Yeah. I just want to ask you about the people you worked with
Yeah.
on the album, like the people you
brilliant.
collaborated.
Yeah.
Who did you collaborate with? Like who even like sprinkle a little bit of stuff, a little bit of
Yeah.
onto your
Um,
Layer Cake?
I say this kind of all the time, but the best thing about the features and the people that I've had work on the project is that everyone's that I've explained what this is about, like in terms of what it means to me and what I'm trying to do, all matched that idea perfectly and all outdid themselves, and like everything I've heard from people was like perfectly in line with what I kind of had pictured, you know what I mean? And it was all, people done different things that were outside their comfort zone as well. Like obviously the first kind of feature you hear anyone on is Julie on Headspace.
Yeah.
And I obviously worked with yourself on that track and most tracks with you and James Shannon as well, done the guitars on it.
Because James Shannon, I do remember he came on towards the end.
Very
right?
very late,
Yeah.
very last minute, like just jump in. We knew
Actually,
we'd
it's
get though.
in extra time, pretty much, honey. Yeah.
And we met, and even still the song grew another 30% after that as well, like, you know.
Bum 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 bum.
So we got
So good, man.
everyone kind of stepped up to that plate, like, but Julie just fucking rattled through them.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
I met Julie at the Four Provinces gig. Well, sorry, I didn't meet her. I seen her at the Four Provinces gig. She sang on stage with a student who's Luke. He played at my show
He
in
was like,
Fiddlers as well.
he was good, man.
Yeah,
he actually was.
a legend.
Like,
He's a brilliant musician. He's in a band called Artsy Polo, and they're deadly as well. They're
He's the
always
fella with the
feeding.
guitar, right?
yeah, and the
he's
beanie.
great, man. And it's
Yeah.
just he's deadly.
He was really
Uh,
good.
Julie sang a song with him. It's his song originally, but I think they have a version of it on SoundCloud, and I just heard her sing, and I was like, wow, she's fucking unbelievable. Like,
Class.
just so haunting and chilling with her voice, like, and so effortless in the way she sings. And yeah, she liked Lil Tree. She was talking to me about Lil Tree, and then we were chatting about music, and I just was like, I had the idea for wanting to have some sort of feminine perspective on the project, because I thought it played into a lot of the storyline in anyway, so it was like, it was nice to have that break in the project as well,
Yeah.
and give that space. That track's nearly 50-50 with us. It's not like she's on a hook, like we're actually probably on it for the same amount of like time.
I never thought of it like that.
It's
man.
50-50, like it's
It was-
my perspective and your perspective type thing.
Wow.
So getting her to do that was deadly, because like we chatted around what I had gone through or what I'd felt and stuff like that, and how I was feeling, and she kind of wrote around that, like a lot of the refrains. We have more vocal takes in there that she has lyrics that are like very like pressing on pressing the buttons that I was talking about, you know what I mean? So it was like, that was deadly. Like she kind of knew exactly what I need to, and she's a writer as well. She writes like blogs, and she's an avid reader as well. She's really big into reading
Shout
stuff.
out to Julie.
Yeah, she's deadly.
I'd be
Gleason.
curious to hear that one.
Yeah.
A little Headspace Part 2 or something.
There's some nice little
The
chops,
remix.
like there's some nice little chops in it. But yeah, that was Julie's bit. The next kind of feature you hear is from the boys, Mix Art and Absentee.
Went to
Yeah.
a different place for
I was
that
only
one.
listening to
Yeah.
that on the way over. It was.
What you think of it, bro?
Oh man, it's one of my favourites from Ollie's, to be honest.
Oh yeah.
Obviously,
Nice,
I'll let
man.
Curtis talk about it and then
Yeah.
I'll jump back in.
Yeah, no, you can talk about it as well. The three best friends thing was kind of like, will I go through this now and it's like entirety around the beat and all that, or just keep
Yeah,
this to
ju-
strictly the features kind of thing?
No, talk about the
I think it
how
makes
it's-
sense.
yeah,
It
yeah.
makes sense to
So
keep it
you're
in
telling
this
the story.
context.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Jump it in, then I'll ask the question I was gonna ask you. Have a good
sting operation. But yeah, three best friends. Obviously the two boys go to a place that I'd never heard them go musically before.
Yeah,
Yeah.
man.
Mitch maybe a little bit more in pieces and bits and pieces, but like how actually chilling his verses is like something I hadn't heard from him or many people before. It was actually like haunting.
He was nearly crying when he was rapping it, do you remember that?
Yeah, man,
Oh,
he's
wow.
just pure, and you can hear it in his voice at the end when he's saying one little tree, and he has like a quiver, a genuine quiver, like not something that you can actually just put on. So like the boys all went to that space, and that is where I wanted that song to be, because the story of that song is it's straight after Lil Tree, which is kind of like the buzzy, like smoke friendly song where like it's good vibes and stuff, and it's just like, you know, it's a little bop and it's a buzz
switches
and it's
over
cool and it's kind of leaning into like a little bit of a glorification kind of maybe, and Three Best Friends kind of comes as looking at the dark side of that. So the concept is like that three best friends, we're three best friends all sitting in a car together, all meeting together to be together, but we're not actually there to
Just
really,
three shams, man.
yeah, we're not really there to be friends. We're there to numb each other, and we're there to just, or not numb each other, we're there to numb ourselves, and we're there to just smoke the joint or just whatever we're doing. And this isn't just weed, this is drink, like any drugs, do you know what I mean, gambling, anything that you do. Like you get these kind of shallow friendships with people, especially party friends,
Yeah.
where like you might just meet up to go out together, but really is they're at and there, like, you know.
Like you never see them on a sober day. Really.
Exactly, like, and it's about not
great,
even
man.
being there. Like you're just here to do your voice so that you
Yeah.
can be, you can escape, you know, your reality, and everyone's just there together, collectively escaping realities rather than like actually caring. And you hear that because we have the little skit at the start where I explain like, oh, like it's a little chopped and screwed voice, and as well, just maybe for pre-context, but when you hear the voices in the track that are all like chopped and screwed and deep and high pitched, that's like the reality within the car, like that's the dialogue that you hear in the track. And then our verses are from each person's perspective inside their head, so it's like
Oh man, it's good stuff.
that's what
boys,
you're
yeah.
speaking inside your head, like, and the whole thing is like we're all sitting in this car together feeling the same things, but none of us are able to communicate that to each other because our connections aren't deep enough for us to allow that to exist. We're all just here for one thing, like,
Yeah,
We're
which
just
is
kinda
such
slagging
a
Mitch.
common thing as well.
and that's why I wanted to make it. Like, I'm not, because my friends aren't even like that, but I've been in environments like that before,
Yeah,
whether it's been at
same.
an after party or going back to a gaff or being somewhere or in a club or, you know, or in a car, like that kind of setting,
Yeah.
you know what I mean?
Same, man.
So and then with Three Best Friends, like how do you direct that? Like directing's not even a word you would even use for music per se, but like
It's like a play though, isn't it?
yeah, like how do you
Communicate that to the boys.
Yeah, how do you communicate to the boys that you
Yeah.
make it coherent song? Like it's not like a song where you just get a feature. You get me?
Yeah.
There's the story you want to tell through the song, and how do you make sure that you got what you needed from Mitch and Nick?
I just explained what I explained to you
Yeah.
there, like, and they had the intuitive nature to understand that and see it. And
Yeah.
I think the only reason why the people that have gotten involved on the project, I should have mentioned this, but I'm only to realizing it now, is because to a certain degree they've gone through that same thing. Like whether it's
yeah.
Julie with like relationship thing, if she's had like love that's broken down for her before, you know, like she's able to go to that place for her, because like I can tell you how I feel, but you might not be able to write a song about it. You know what I mean? Like, if you haven't been there, you're a young flit as well, like especially in the area and the context of where the album takes place, which is like Dublin and where I'm from and all that. We
I had to get
around-
into that, man.
we're all around all this shit all the time, like, so
Yeah.
it's very second nature. Mitch, I think, can relate to that as well, like,
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
you know.
100%. Man.
So I feel like they understood the assignment before they even were really coming in, and then I just had to give them that info, that direction, and then as well for the song, to tie the song together, it is that skit, because it's like it's the bit that just ties each end of it together, like the bit where I pretend that, oh yeah, I forgot, I thought your birthday's in September, bro, sorry bro, and then at the end when Mitch
Characters, like,
when Mitch runs out and slams the car door, you hear the car door slam, and then he runs away, and then like we're just sitting there, and then I just turn to him and I go, do you want to know like secret, or do you want to know something funny? He's like, what? And then I'm like, I didn't really forget about his birthday, I just didn't want to go. And like it's just like, that's just like the lousiness of
the
it all, do you know what I mean?
shallowness,
It's just like it's like, and when you listen to Mitch's verse and know that these boys aren't hearing what he's saying around about nearly like wanting to not to be dead, essentially, like, you know what I mean? Not being in a good place at all, and like we're just like slagging him then when he goes, like, you know, it's such like a, I think it sums up, or like, you know, it's like the essence of something that's very toxic within the community, if you will.
100%.
Yeah.
Man, from like a conceptual point of view, like, such a good track. But in terms of the sequencing just on the album, man, like, I think when I listen to the album in full, man, the way it lands in, boys, is whopper, because it comes right after Lil Tree.
because you don't expect it.
Yeah, and just the
Yeah, because like
class.
after, I feel like after Little Tree, almost kind of expect something kind of similar in vibe.
yeah,
Do you know what I
man.
mean? Like, or like a kind of fun track, but then it's like that smack of reality. It's
It
like bam.
grabs you, man.
But that's the
Yeah.
whole point. So like even with the project, when you listen to it going through track by track, you've like Get Away, which is like the introduction to what I'm talking about in terms of like the things that I'm dealing with or how I'm feeling. Days Long is very like frustrated, depressive kind of thing of being stuck in a loop nearly.
Yeah.
Like, do you know what I mean? Then it goes into Headspace, which is like all about like heartbreak, and then it's like Lil Tree is like all this shit that are happening, and now you're doing this to kind of numb yourself so
Yeah.
that you can feel better.
Yeah,
And then it goes into Three Best Friends because like
The
because that's
dark
not
side, man.
sustainable. Like, you know, you
Yeah.
can't do that for long because then you get smacked with
You say that in
reality.
the song, actually, don't you?
What did I
Not
say?
sustainable.
Well,
No, that's actually in that
yeah,
track,
yeah.
right?
And then you get smacked with reality in
Yeah.
the face. So that's why it's sequenced that way.
When you were, I suppose, when you were making the songs, did you have ideas in your head that like I want to chat about these kind of issues and I'm gonna try do it in that like order, or did you just make the songs and then kind of afterwards be like, actually I'm talking about like this on that song and like this on that song, and then
Think both, man. So
Yeah.
sometimes it's weird. Sometimes you look back on lyrics and then you're going, "Oh shit!" Like that's actually about
You didn't
that
realise
ties
at
into
the
this
time,
theme
like,
so much bigger. But that's because you're writing from a place of where I try to write from is like, I don't know, like I'm not pretending is what I'm saying. Is what I'm
Yeah.
trying to say. So when I'm writing from an authentic place, I'm talking on these subjects because they're actually what I'm going through and what are important to me
Yeah,
and
yeah.
what frustrate me with, like, you know, the pain that I see within people around and all those things frustrate me, and that's it's coming out of me that way. It's not like I sat down and said I need to talk about all these issues and all. It didn't
Yeah.
come that way. It loosely was like that, and then I was like, oh, I need to hone in on these and
Nice.
just tie the teams together themselves. Like things will come up naturally, but you do have to work to polish the ideas as well,
Yeah.
so that there is that little skit. Like, you know, like I can want to talk about toxicity in lad culture, but like if I don't do that little skit to
It
show
doesn't make sense.
how really rotten and fake them connections can be.
Ties it all up, bro.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
you know, it's just like I didn't have that idea at the start. That came after, but I had the team. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
So
yeah.
these are things that have been on my mind and that I've been
Sure, your whole life,
yeah,
like,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
Man, right, so on that, like, basically to jump into kind of the perspective, right? So we talked about, obviously it's from your perspective, but you know, like with a lot of art, when you listen to, let's say, Jay-Z, you know, his first album, Reasonable Doubt, there's a thing, I watched that on Sky Art, man. He's obviously a lot older, but he's looking back at it and he's like, who is this man? Where was he at this time? What was his experience? And he's talking about basically selling crack, like, in the street, and that's like the whole album kind of revolves around that. It's his experience, what he had to go through, the people he deals with, da 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 da. It's like Reasonable Doubt was almost like a scripture for like the streets, man, for like a hustler perspective, right? With Layer Cake, there's a lot of things to unpack, I think, in terms of the environment that the individual yourself comes from and the things you see, and like just in terms of one thing is like working class culture, right? And I do think as well, like obviously working class, like it's a bit of a mad time for the working class. Obviously we know why. Do you know what I mean? There's a lot of mad stuff going on, but that's why I think Layer Cake came at. It's like a really bad time and a really good time. A bad time for where we're all at, but a really good time for a project like that to come, because it's like a self-exploration, the project, you know what I mean? It's like a discovery of self. But there's a few things I want to get into with it, man. So like the first track you talked about on Three Best Friends, like the toxicity of these relationships, you know, trying to numbing yourself from, like, I suppose that experience.
Yeah.
And I want to jump into that, right? Because Get Away, right? So I said this to you before, but I say it to the boys, man. I remember this was after Layer Cake had come out, man. I was like listening to Get Away, walking through Crumlin, man. I was like, great track, really good track. But there's that bar where you're like, bro, get good, get active, stack cash, get trapping,
Yeah.
Pull must be laughing. Getting this like Gucci stuff. And I was listening to it, I was like, that's not something I think Curtis would normally say, right? And then I was just thinking of like my ma listened to her or something, and like, I don't know, someone random, like they're like, oh, what is that, like that part is almost like a perspective, right?
Yeah, this
So-
is what I was alluding to. So
Yeah.
I was gonna tell Kev this, and I was like, no, I've already told Nick this answer, so I needed to be at least authentic for you. You know.
Yeah.
But Sandy, were you not there on the last spot? You were there for this bit, I think.
I don't think it was
So no, but then
Ron
you,
had
but then
to
you
leave.
left. Ron had to go. See,
Oh,
see
don't
a
bring
friend.
it up.
People don't know anything what happened.
Oh, sorry.
What's done in the dark was.
No, I meant in the multiverse. You know, in that
Multiverse,
other timeline.
yeah.
But
Go on,
no,
go on.
for both of you boys, yeah. On the bit in Getaway where I say, bro, get good, get active, start all that bit there is like not really me. It's more so the
Yeah.
lines that come before that. It's like distance makes the heart grow weak, or not in strength and twice as eager. It's like me kind of returning back with like feeling low and feeling down over like losing like relationships with people and like me partner at the time. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So losing that connection and going back. And like the mindset whenever you're met in that situation from like
From the
that,
boys.
the boys and not my boys either. My friends are
yeah,
my
yeah.
friends are great. I just mean in general, like, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Is this like, bro, get good, get active, like just sort yourself out. All you have to do is like get loads of money, like
And you'll
buy
forget about it,
clothes,
like,
you
yeah.
get a nice looking board. That's the remedy to all this stuff, like, you know. And I think I'm kind of just highlighting that because that sums up a lot of where all this stuff kind of ties in with layer cake and the other stuff,
Yeah,
like True
yeah,
Best Friends
yeah.
and all. So that was kind of my thing there, and that's what I always hate about me rap. Sometimes I don't want people to think that I,
saying it,
that
yeah.
I'm like you, because even I come back to it, I say Gucci slides on, we splashing, and then I go
Yeah.
nowhere near a pool unless you're drowning in the
Silly
silly
death.
death. Yeah.
Yeah.
So like, that's the way I'm trying to. That's where I'm like nearly answering that back, being like nah, like that's
Yeah.
not the
No,
way. Like
I got
you know?
that from it. I knew it was like
Yeah,
that. I know
yeah.
that's not cool saying that from his
Yeah,
point
but
of
if
view.
you are a randomer, you might not know that. You might just think that I love wearing Gucci flip flops. I don't wear
Yeah,
clothes like
Nah,
that.
bro, that's
That's
why
the
we're
thing,
here,
innit?
bro.
Yeah, and again,
We're
it's this
breaking
whole
it
thing
down.
about status. So it's like, you know, especially in the working class community, it's like, you feel like shit maybe because you've grown up in like either poverty or been around poverty, not been able to afford like the best of the best things, and like
Yeah.
those things are like held over you as like a symbol. Like, so whether it's the newest Nikes or whether it's like whatever type of jacket, whether it's a North Face jacket, like whatever kind of jacket
Yeah.
is now Candy Goose, and it's all like mad Moncler, all these jackets, like all
100%.
these fucking mad monies, and people are trying to maintain that image because when you come from nothing,
Yeah, but they can't
you
even
need
afford
these
it as
symbols
well.
so that
Yeah.
when you walk outside
Yeah.
the door and people see you, you feel a type of way about yourself, you know.
Yeah.
And there's such a lack of self-esteem within that, like.
400%, man.
and I've
If you
never-
don't have the jacket, who the fuck are you then?
Yeah,
Yeah.
and I've never been that way. I've always loved my own clothes. I was always a little weirdo. I always was
Same.
making clothes and like making tie-dye t-shirts. Always like would turn me nose to that kind of stuff because
Yeah.
I was kind of not raised, but even the way I was taught and people that influenced me was like that. You
Doesn't
don't,
matter,
you don't
like-
need those. It's about who you are as a person, not like what you have. Like, and then
Yeah.
you look at rap as an extension of that mindset. It's
And it
like
kinda is the
that
same,
whole
isn't
thing,
it?
especially in not just in our scene, but like in all the scenes. You know, it's like it is like more about if you can get a
Money,
music
clothes,
video
yeah.
with a load of dogs, a load of money, rented cars. It's like they're all the boxes ticked. You look
Yeah,
cool.
yeah, yeah.
Like it's like
It
whereas
literally is,
I don't
yeah.
think that's cool, man. Like, do you know what I
Yeah.
mean? So I'm
Same.
trying to question that because there's little kids going around at the moment, and this is a true story. I know someone that got a jacket, a Canada Goose jacket for Christmas, and their friends, the little young fella's friends, wanted to see the receipt of the jacket because they thought it was fake.
What?
Yeah.
So it
I've
wasn't
heard of
good
that.
enough to have the jacket. If you
Yeah.
don't have the receipt, it's fake. That doesn't look like his one.
Ah, boys.
You know?
My
That-
little
that-
cousin
yeah.
But that
was
culture is toxic. These people
Yeah.
are young people. Like, they shouldn't need to be worried. Imagine, you remember what it was like when you were a kid. You
I used
actually
to
had a
buy
moment.
fake clothes when I was a kid, man.
Man, I have
Like,
no
I used to
qualms
buy
about
fake
that.
Adidas now.
Of course, man. There's nothing wrong with that.
Both
Yeah.
wrong.
You said something like, remember you were trying to be like, oh, they're nice shoes to your ma or dad. Remember you were
Yeah.
trying to get the guilt
Yeah,
trips
yeah,
into buying
yeah,
it.
yeah.
We've all been there
G-Unit, yeah.
trying to get 80 quid out of your ma max. Like, that's a lot.
Yeah.
Now it's like these jackets are hundreds of
700
euro. Like,
Yeah.
crazy
Yeah.
amounts.
Just one thing to throw in, it's kind of funny, man. I was
Yeah.
chatting to my little cousin. Same thing, man. He's like telling me, like, oh, buying these clothes, Yeezys, da da da. And he was saying he has this friend who, you know, the way you can get stuff on, like, what's it called?
That American shoe fucking website.
No, kind of. What's that?
Shane, Alibaba.
No, what's that called? It's like where you don't buy it, you pay them back.
Oh,
like
finance.
finance.
On finance.
Yeah,
He
yeah.
said he went into Brown Thomas boys. He said he got a load of Gucci and a load of like Burberry and all on finance. And and he pays 300 quid a month back for it, boys.
See, that's ridiculous.
300 quid a month, man,
That's
for a few clothes, like.
But that's probably him just doing that because all his mates wear, and he feels bad if he doesn't
But
have
that's
it.
what
You know what I mean?
that's what I hate though.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to poke back against that in a sense because I feel like that mentality is rife all around me. So
Yeah, man.
Definitely.
And man, see, like, cause I feel like that's the first time it comes in
yeah,
on Get Away, right? But there's also a part of Sorry Little Life where you're talking about hearing loud bangs on the road. You would always style for your bros.
Yeah.
You would tell us never trust them hot.
yeah.
Right? It's like there's more to that throughout the album.
Yeah,
know what I
definitely.
mean?
Sorry Little
Yeah.
Life, yeah, especially because
Yeah.
I do mention the bit as well about like rap like UK Think Your Best. That's not about this, but I'm just
Yeah,
sorry,
yeah.
the next one is trap out your household and families for rent fees just so you can rent out like one day in a Bentley.
Yeah, it's
So,
it like links directly into
Because
it,
there
man.
is so many people. There's like I'm from Ballyfermot as well. Like there's like a lot of unrest like in certain parts of Ballyfermot, like with gang culture and shit like that, and just that problem in general. Like, and it's not all down to those people either. Like I don't be trying to, because I actually get kind of political towards the end of that track as well, if you can call it political. But I turn my attention to that side of it because again, I don't blame these people for like the stuff they do. It's like the people that have been like dumped there essentially in that
Products of the
area.
environment, essentially.
Yeah,
aren't they?
like they're
Yeah.
exactly because they grew up there in the 80s. Like there's an estate where my ma's from and it's called Gallanstown. They changed the name of it. It's now called Cherry Orchard, like up that way.
Oh, shit.
And
okay.
but before it was Gallanstown, they changed the name because it was like so heavily linked with bad crime articles that they changed it.
Jesus.
It was like Grove Street Boys because it was a cul-de-sac, right? And the train tracks were behind it. So like people used to come down and
Hop
like
off, like.
hop over the walls and all. Actually, I have a funny story about my nanny as well. My nanny's a legend. My nanny Phyllis. She used to like always like have sympathy for the boys who were like getting a little chasing a robbed car or something like that, and they'd be spinning around the block. And my nanny would leave our front and the back door unlocked,
So they could run in.
so they could run in, jump the back wall, and get over the train tracks and get away.
Jesus.
So the police used to, and like obviously one or two of those people may have been my uncle. Do you know? I don't know. But like
Allegedly.
yeah, because like at that time he was probably that age, you know. But like that estate was like that because people were dumped there with no amenities, no fucking
Yeah.
anything. They were just dumped out there. Like poverty was so huge. Then
Bit mad,
the
man,
whole
really,
wave
yeah.
of heroin came in the 80s,
Yeah.
90s.
Yeah.
Where like
Yeah, awful,
that
man.
that like people didn't have the knowledge about drugs that they have now. Like there's so many things, education around drugs. Like that was an epidemic for people.
Man,
in
sorry,
the
can I
last
just say
20s.
one thing there quick? I don't want to cut you off
No,
at all,
don't.
but just what you're saying about heroin as well, man, because back then heroin was like people done it for the crack almost, man. Do you know what I mean?
I don't know for the crack.
no, I was trying to say something positive.
No, they did it
but
for
they
the
did.
heroin.
But no one knew it make it end up the way like you see people flying around town who are like
Yeah,
proper
man.
addicted
We
to it.
see that now. But
Yeah.
whereas, so when we were kids, we knew that, and I don't like to say this word, but we would call them junkies. Like, we
Yeah,
think
no,
they're
same.
drug
Yeah, when you were a
addicts,
kid, you see them, you'd be like freaked out by them.
Yeah.
But I suppose the generation before that,
They never had that.
they wouldn't have
example.
seen that. Like,
But like, see the way now, just like you look at, I don't know, rap videos like, oh, doing lean, doing Xanax, da 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 da. If you think about it, back then, all the rock stars done heroin, man. The Jimi Hendrixes,
Yeah.
the Phil Lynotts, all the
All
boys.
the ones that are dead. You know, it's like
Do you know what? But like, still though, man. I think it kind of leans in a little bit just to say like about what we're being influenced by as well. You know?
yeah. And back to the thing that I was saying
Yeah.
about that, the area then, like, cause I had the problem of like drugs and shit like that, and no example to not do that. Like the place went spiraled into like even worse. But the funny story that I had that I'll tell about my nanny is she used to leave the front the back door open, and there used to be a Garda. Don't know if I say her name on the podcast.
that's how you cool, man.
No, give
It's
a
up to
fake
you.
name, bro. Give a fake name.
All right, Pauline Reid.
There we go.
That was her real name.
Give a real name?
Yeah, I'm only messing. We'll never know.
Allegedly.
Only I know. Listen, she's well retired now, like, do you know what I mean? But she used to be a sergeant in the station in Balliar, and she came up to raid me nanny's house because she was saying like basically for revenge because she kept letting the uncles escape.
revenge.
So yeah, they used to come in and kick the door down.
So they wrecked the gaff?
Yeah, they used to come in and kick the door down. So they used to raid me nanny's house all the time. Me nanny used to snap.
All the time.
Yeah, like all the
Jesus,
time.
man.
And what
Some-
they do the usual, like turn it upside down?
Yeah,
and
of
all?
course they ruin it. Like, so then, me nanny used to say to them when she'd see them on the street, because they used to drive up and down the street and say, "We'll be into you in the morning, bright and early," and all, you know, all this shit. Like, so me
Jeez.
nanny used to say to them, "I'll leave the door open for you just because you keep fucking kicking down the door. Like, I'll leave the door open for you." And one day, me nanny was pissed off because they kept doing it to her, and me nanny waited at the top of the stairs. My granddad was only had to been redecorating a room or something like that, and she stood at the top of the stairs with a bucket full of paint, And when your one Colin Reid walked in, me nanny fucked the book. So your one runs up the stairs and they're fighting on top of the stairs and they fall down the stairs and all, like, you know, me nanny was baiting her as well, like, you know, it was like they're killing each other.
Covered in paint, man, that's gas.
Me nanny got arrested, right, brought to Mountjoy, and she was put in with the male prisoners because there was I don't know why she was put in the male area, but she was put in there and like people from Balliol were like, yeah, go on, because they had heard. But apparently, I don't know.
That's unreal, man.
I don't know about this bit now.
What
I was
story?
told this bit, and I don't know, because I've never seen it. But apparently, there's a photo of her, like, with the paint all over, like, arrested, like, me nanny, like, you know.
In the newspaper or something?
No, I don't know if it was newspaper. Someone said that existed before, but
You need
That'd
to
be
get that
class,
frame,
yeah.
man.
yeah, I don't know
Album
how we
cover.
got into Gallentown stuff, but I think we were just talking about the area and stuff like that. But yeah, basically about the conditions that kind
Yeah,
of
man.
enabled all this, and
Because, yeah.
No, you go.
Just one thing I'd say, like, because obviously, man, we're all friends here, we know each other, but it's like, and let's just say, if you're to listen to Layer Cake without knowing you, or if it's someone who comes from a different place altogether, let's say someone in America's listening, man, do you know what I mean?
All my Turkish fans out there. A few streams going over that way. Yeah.
Yup, man.
Someone must be getting a hair transplant over there. Listening to Days Long.
The teeth on and all.
No, but what I'm saying is, like, people from other cultures and stuff, man, other countries, if they're listening to Layer Cake, it's just to ask you about the environment that, not even that you were raised in, but just like, you know.
Yeah, and there's no,
working class
listen, there's
environment.
no sad story here. Like, you know, I'm not saying that anything was mad difficult for me or anything like that. It was more seeing everyone else kind of around. But the reason why, even if you're from a different country, like, all these issues are still prevalent everywhere, all over the world. You know,
They are
regardless if you're
great
from Rio de
point,
Janeiro,
man.
if you're from New York City.
It's almost universal,
It's
isn't it?
universal,
Yeah.
man, because again, it's this, and not to be a mad fucking
Go on.
a tinfoil hat here, but it's the system, man. It's the fucking
Nah, it is,
governments in
yeah.
power starving working class people for generations, like, and then expecting, like, it not to be an issue, like, do you know what I mean? Like, when you and it goes all the way back in Ireland from when we even got independence from England, and mother and baby homes, handing all the power over to religion. All these things, man, have crippled the people that are from where kind of I'm from, and you see the effects of it. What I was gonna say a minute ago was, like, I work in my area is like a community worker type thing.
Yeah.
Now I don't work with kids per se, but I run another thing. I won't go too much into it.
No,
News on
it's
the
up to
podcast.
you, man.
But I work within the community is what I'm trying to say. Like, and I work with people, and you see people coming through, whether they're young people or older people, and whether it's like addiction or grief or trauma or any of these things. Like, I think because I'm in that area, I see it a lot more.
100%, yeah.
And that's why in my music I'm kind of that way motivated as well, because I don't just tell my story. I do kind of lean into other people's stories.
Yeah,
Well, so I
this
think
is
it's
what I
important
wanted
to say as well.
I wanted to say this, man, because that's one thing that I have to commend you on, man. Seriously, because it's like, if we're taking it to what's going on right now, like the last 2 or 3 episodes, even see the episode with Meg.
Yeah.
We're kind of shout out to Meg as
Yeah,
well. Legend.
man, that was a great episode.
That was a buzzy one, wasn't it? But it was gas. But one thing that has come up consistently in the last few episodes, man, is community, right? And I said in the last one, man, I was like, I feel like with a lot of this stuff, and we don't have to go too much into this, right? But I do just want to touch on it because I feel like it's relevant. One thing that has to be said is just like with the stuff that has gone on, man, with the riots and all, I just feel like there's a lack of understanding, man. Do you know what I mean? It's like we don't understand each other fully, and that's one thing that I have to commend you on with this project, man, because you're tapping into that mindset, that culture, and you're shown the unpretty sides of it, man. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
So I'm like, if you're someone who's, let's say you grew up in, I don't know, Dublin 4, Blackrock, Daddy's a banker, or whatever. If you listen to Layer Cake though, then they mightn't understand certain things.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And
The three
No,
best
that's true, though, yeah.
the 3 best friends, the Sorry Little Life, those perspectives, man, those are all new. That can be new things. Do you know what I mean?
yeah, they're like loud bangs on the road. What do you mean?
Yeah.
Fireworks, man, is it?
I did want.
So what are you saying about that though? What are you trying to get at?
So I just wanted to go like, I just wanted to commend you on that, because I feel like with Layer Cake, you're showing those sides of, it's real basically is what I'm trying to say. Do you know what I mean? And I do feel like it's a project that if people listen to it, you can have a bit more understanding of that culture. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I think you've done a very, very good job on that with the project. Like, especially I think with Sorry Little Life, 3 Best Friends, Get Away, and well, I don't know where we are in the space of it, like what time we're at, because this could be like towards the end kind of
Yeah,
questionable.
you're going towards Stuck and all this stuff.
Yeah, man, Fresh Face and Stuck, man.
I'll go to that myself now,
Yeah.
probably in a sec.
Yeah,
But
because that one is
one thing I
Yeah.
want to say as well is like, because the topics that I do talk about on like say Three Best Friends, they're nearly like the negative side of work class communities. Like I'm very proud to be from where I'm from, and even when I tell the story about like Gallenstown, I mean, and you're at, and it's always with like a laugh and with pride, because like again, like I don't judge anybody that's chosen to do these things or any like whether it's like drugs or anything that are from them areas, because of the understanding that I have around the conditions and
You
like
almost
the,
feel bad for them, nearly.
of course, man.
Yeah,
like,
definitely, man.
Of course. So like, I know I'm highlighting these things, but it's more as because I do think there is a lot of local pride in the sense of advertising has gone local, you know.
Yeah.
There is a lot of good artists that are sporting local.
Yeah.
Don't go on a tangent here, but Gemma Dunleavy, you know, the go.
Oh,
but like, you
she's
know,
class, yeah.
like what she does for her community, you know what I mean?
It's
That
incredible,
inspires me,
man.
man. You know what I mean? I
Yeah.
want to do that for my community as well, and
Yeah.
speak for those people. I think she's a voice for those people. I
Yeah.
want to be a voice for my people as well.
that project, man.
Yeah, but I do understand I'm like nearly challenging that mentality, and that might rub, you know, that could rub you the wrong way. Say if you're one of those Three Best Friend type
Yeah.
fellas, you might not like Curtis, like, do you know what I mean?
But bro, this
I'm trying to challenge it because
Yeah.
I want more for the people that are from where I'm from as
Yeah,
well.
100%.
I
But
want
man-
us to break out of these things. I don't want
Yeah.
to just be like pat everyone on the back and say
Yeah,
we're all
yeah.
brilliant, because it's not the case. There's real issues here to be addressed, you know.
I have to jump in and say one thing, but that's why I commend you as well, because you aren't trying to sugarcoat or make this look
I'm
deadly.
not trying to pimp me hood out.
Yeah, man, you know.
I'm not going, oh yeah, everyone here is on a Three Best Friends buzz, so I'm gonna be of similar ilk and rap like this and like, you know, and go from that mind space and try to
Yeah.
capitalize on it. I'm more trying to challenge the listener, like
Yeah.
But man, that's I think what I like about that is if you look at I know like there's a lot of hot debates about this album within this room, but Kendrick Lamar, man, Mr. Lamar and the Big Steppers, you saw that interview with Tyler the Creator, man, and he's like, a big reason why a lot of people hate that album is because they see themselves in a lot of the songs, you know what I mean? And a lot of the songs are hard to listen to, man.
Yeah.
We Cried Together, Father Time, like
I love it.
Mother We Sober, do you know what I mean?
That song breaks my heart, man.
But this is what I'm saying, man. A lot of people will push away from the album because it hits home in that kind of way.
Growth is painful, Mick. It
Growth
like-
is painful, bro. But that's why I think that's why I commend you, man. Do you know what I mean? Because I think you're putting real stuff
Yeah.
into your project, and yeah,
I want to jump here in on this point because you actually asked me before around Stuck, and you're like, why finish the project on that, because it's not really a conclusion, and it's because of like being true to what you're just saying there, like where we are now with what happened like 2 or 3 weeks ago now, like after that young girl was like stabbed in town.
do we even know what's happening with that still?
I heard on the news like 2 days ago that
She's in a coma.
she's
or
in a
something,
coma,
isn't
but she will be out of ICU by Christmas or something.
Ah,
They're hoping,
please
but
God, man.
I don't know how they forecast that or how they know this, but
Yeah.
I'm hoping that that's the case. Like what happened in Dublin City, I won't even just limit it to that. What happened
Yeah.
in Dublin City recently is stuck, like, to me, like, you know, that's where I finished that at. It's like this is where we're all at as a society, like
Yeah.
something has to give right now, like, because everyone's at an absolute breaking point. We've like, whether it's COVID and like the backlash of people being depressed off the back of that,
Yeah.
the isolation,
Yeah.
like the cost of living, then like rolling into that, the housing problem, the homeless problem, and then like as well with the wars and the immigration, and putting all of that together in one big pressure cooker, and just the government standing back and watching it blow,
Yeah.
and having
Changed.
zero accountability about it, like, you know. That's why I chose to end it there, because that's where we're at, and
Yeah.
that's why at the end of Stuck you hear the voices. It starts with my voice, and then
It
it
builds,
ends
yeah.
with loads of other, and it's all different voices, like, and they're all mad voices as well. So it's like I wanted to end on that because I feel like that's a place where everyone is at right now, and
Yeah, it's hard
at
to
this moment in
stay
time, you
sane
know.
in a world that's like
Wow,
fucking
man.
mad. at the
Yeah,
moment.
and we have, man, I don't like to be all like, the world is so bad, because I'm such a privileged person. We live in such privileged times as well, but I don't like to just say like, oh yeah, because we have an iPhone, that doesn't mean that there's real fucking pain and real trauma happening in the world, like, you know. And I know that again from like what I'm saying about being active in my community and seeing these issues,
Yeah,
and seeing
firsthand, bro,
seeing
yeah.
the response. Like, I'm not being bad, like I contact HAP, like I try to get people houses, like, you know, I do that as a part of my job. I try to get people counselling services. Like, I know how long it takes to get those things.
Yeah.
And
It's
I know,
kind of fucked, man.
and I know the
Yeah.
limit that they stretch to, like, do you know what I mean, and how much they can handle. And I like, it's not enough, you know, and it's never been enough. And even you get this thing with the government now as well, where they're like, well, we've made more houses in the last year than we ever have, and it's up by 100%. It's like, if you made fuck all last year, making one this year is 100% on fuck all. Like, you know, it's like, it's not being better than your shite year last year is not growth. Like, it's like, you need to catch up. You're already behind, like, you know.
That is the story of our
But that's it.
government,
It's
though,
bending
Man,
bending truths for everything, bending the stats, skewing the stats.
120,000 abandoned houses as well.
Yeah.
Like, that people aren't living in. Just putting it out there.
So all of those things, and I don't know where we're at now with the conversation, but all of those things have compounded and exploded, I feel.
To bring that back to Layer Cake, that's what I'm saying, man. Layer Cake came bad time for like what's going on, but at the
bad
same
time for promo. It's like Foot Locker's on fire and me rapping. You know, it's just like the timeline is fucked. Like,
but once again, though, man, I do feel like it's a project that people should listen to, because of what's going on as well, man, and because of how real you're being on it, man. You know, but to bring it.
Sorry, can I actually just say this one thing?
Of course, bro. Of course,
it's unstuck as well. Like, I actually go into it at the end. The last thing I do on the project is this kind of little, you know, look at it, the boards and the bees and the honey and the trees. I have all this thing there at the end of it where I'm saying like, they have us fight each other just so we be distracted, subtracted, then distracted. And that's so true to everything that we've just talked about there. Do you know what I mean? It is like
fact, man.
They're having all of us fight each other just so that, you know, that they can turn the attention on us versus them. And I don't mean them as in like the system or the politics. They're just standing back from it. And then what they did after all that mad shit happened was they vilified one side of it and said these are scumbags and they're all far right, even though like everyone that was there wasn't all far right. And there's like real voices in that have been captured by the far right because the system's not listening to them. The politicians are leaving them. It's the same thing that happened with Trump. Trump wouldn't have got elected in America if the left hadn't have like left a huge amount of population in absolute ruins, like because they didn't care about them. And that's what's happening in Dublin now. And what happens when that's missing is you leave a space for anger and hate and resentment, and then you can militarize that. And that's what the far right have done in Dublin.
I think it's the denial of it as well, like the government not owning up. Like even them saying like, oh, how are we supposed to know that would happen? It's like even them saying that, it's like, well, then you're not like
a few weeks or months ago, there was a situation where there was migrants living in a laneway camping, and the far right groups marched down. Sorry, I don't want to just say far right because there was actually local community people there as well that marched down to be like, what are these doing here? And it's not. Again, it shouldn't be you pointing at the migrants saying like, get the fuck home, we're full. It should be like, why the fuck are these here? Because that's a valid question. Why are these living in tents in a laneway? If these are, what's the plan for these people? What's the plan for us as people? What's the plan for our homeless? Like, there's loads of questions to be asked. But the narrative is never going to get there because the way we're just trained to hate the other side.
Because I said it already, man, in I think it was the episode where it was just a few of us, but one thing that's crazy, man, right, that I think is mad, I'll say it again, if there was, let's just say, no, I'm talking like utopia here, let's just say there's no homeless people, everyone has a gaff, everything is priced okay, we don't feel like we're being fucked out of it, I think that racism would evaporate, man. I feel like all those emotions would evaporate, because I just feel like what's going on is there's so many homeless people, Irish homeless people, and then these groups like, oh man, you know, someone comes in from, I don't know, Ukraine or something like that. And then it's like, once someone that comes in from a different country does something that's bad, it's so magnified because of the current issues, do you know what I mean?
Which is inevitable. And you have to it's not, this isn't a bad thing to say, like, if you're coming...
But hang on, I just want to say like that, if that was all sorted, man, we wouldn't have any of this, boys. Do you know what I mean?
You still have it.
You still have inherent racism, man.
No, but like not at this level though, boys.
No, not at what's happening on the streets now, man.
Yeah. But like, it still be there in like it's small
the reasons why it's so prevalent in the working class community especially is because that's where they seem to all be getting dumped. And that's the thing. They're not going to posh areas. You don't go out to fucking Blackrock and walk down the main strip and see that. You see it in town where it's working class community in the inner city, and then you see it in places like Ballyfermot, Clondalk, and all these places, and they're getting it. So it's like your plan with these people is to take these already traumatized people that are coming from dire situations, and anyways, not looking after them, dumping them in an area that other people don't have enough, and telling them all to make do and be friends with each other. When like you're not spreading that around evenly at all.
See that
that's
as well.
Why it exists.
About making friends, like I think there should be more for that as well, man. More community stuff. See what I was talking about, like lack of understanding each other. I do think like there needs to be more stuff where people can actually kind of get to know each other better on that kind of basis, you know.
People who have less or who are fighting for resources, when you introduce more people into that pool,
It just makes them feel even
it's-
more robbed.
yeah, it's there definitely is things to be done, but I think there's like things the government could actually be doing to make this all easier. Like, do you know what I mean?
Devil.
I think the plan is not working, and I think the plan is like the cheapest approach possible, and that's why these people are getting militarized into joining far right groups, because they're actually like seeing this every day in town themselves, and they don't feel represented.
Sorry, I think the point I'm saying is like, okay, racism's always gonna be there, but with the far right, like with that extreme element, boys, I think that's only there because of how the government
Yes.
have treated it. Do you know what I
No,
mean?
yeah.
I truly believe that, man. I don't think there's a lot of Mussolinis running around fucking. Do you know what I mean? I don't think there's a lot of people that have these ideas just running around. I think it's
No,
because
it's more
The,
prevalent
da-
now.
the,
Yeah,
da- the
man.
danger now though is the social media, the WhatsApp, the far right groups spreading this misinformation, and
because they
it's-
lie as well.
it's,
Like
it's getting more close to home. Like now it's like I get them off everyone I know. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Whereas I used to only get them off a few oddballs. Do you know what I mean? That'd be like, you know, your mad uncle that'd be into the racism. Do you know what I mean? Like one of those fellas.
There's always one of
But
them,
now,
like,
but
that
now it's
fucking
now
uncle,
it's like
man.
people's mas and aunties send them these videos.
Yeah.
It's and
Yeah.
the concern is valid, because it is there should it's not just racist to turn around and say what's the plan for these people, like, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But we should also be asking what's the plan for us, what's the plan for our homeless people, what's the
Yeah.
plan for people that are drug addicts, like, do you know what I mean? What are the
Yeah.
plans to help the population?
it's a mad buzz, isn't
It
it?
is, man.
And it's a hard question. Listen, I'm not just saying like Leo Varadkar sort it out. Like I
Yeah.
get you walk into something, but like at the end of the day, they've had ample time. That party have had ample time to introduce things to get better. They failed everything they've ever done. I think they've failed. I don't think I've heard anything from the government that they've delivered on something properly. That children's fucking hospital would fucking.
See, they
would-
said there's what 80% done. The thing has fucking.
It's over budget by billions.
the thing's not even finished, man. It's
Isn't
all,
it
it's
the
still in
most
builds, like,
expensive building in the world?
And here, do you know how they fucked themselves?
Yeah, I think hospital. Yeah.
That's mad.
They fucked themselves, right? Do you know why they went over budget? Because the cost of materials inflated so much because of how bad the economy has been, because of how badly they've managed the economy. So they're fucking themselves, and then that'll still get kicked down the road to the people. It's just,
Mad.
and some of it would just drive you absolutely insane. And sometimes I have to switch off
I'm
from
stuck. Yeah,
this because
yeah.
that's why it's in me music a lot as
Yeah.
well, because I actually get very wound up by this, because again, and not to keep going back, but I do see the effects of this on people, and
Yeah.
I'm like, this isn't fair. And you do see then,
All
if you
the
ever go
social
on to
media and all.
the other life, or if you go out to Dalkey or anywhere nice and to see the way some other people like live, you're like, what the fuck, like.
Yeah, but it breaks your heart when you drive up Dalkey Hills or something, man. Like,
But this is what I'm saying, man. If you have a project like Layer Cake, man, people from Dalkey start listening. Do you know what I mean? Understanding each other a bit more, boys. That's all I'm saying. That's what I think. I really believe that, man. I feel like more understanding, more community, and on a government level, man, more housing. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You just do
that's
understand.
the big one.
Well, you do understand that, man. Like the less, if they built, let's say they were like, okay, we're gonna go mad. Here's 200,000 gaffs. You do realize like the property of the housing would come right down because it opens up. It's tactical as well. You know that was it.
Scarcity, yeah.
How many percent of the TDs are landlords? There's a stat on this.
Yeah, a
It's
lot.
good
yeah.
for
Nearly all
19 or
landlords,
something.
and the percentage of ones that aren't landlords. Like Leo Varadkar was like, oh, I'm not a landlord, but his partner owns 2 or 3 properties.
Because all the properties are in their name.
You know
Yeah,
what I
yeah,
mean? Like they play a lot of games, so yeah, fuck that. But to bring it back to Layer Cake, that was a trip there, man.
Yeah,
Yeah, we
but
went
that's
deep
what's
there.
happening. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
what's coming. Yeah.
Man, to be fair, I'm quite happy with everything said on the album. Is there anything you want to add in? Because there's a little bonus thing I want to do at the end. But is there anything else you want to speak on the project? Is there any message you want to put out, or anything you want to say about it?
Not really. Like, again, is there any other kind of tracks or things that I'm not touching into?
I think we haven't talked about your event that you done. I don't know if you want to talk about it.
Yeah. So
Just
I
like
done that.
how was that for
I
you?
done that was it last Friday or the Friday before? Can't remember. I done on the 1st of December. Yeah, I done on the 1st of December. Yeah, a big part about my music was just, again, I'm speaking about like people around me, my community around me, my experiences, their experiences. So I felt my music, the way I've always made music, just because, again, going back to I wasn't really ready and stuff like that. I used to always hide everything from people, and I wasn't really comfortable with sharing what I was doing because because of the places I was kind of going to, I felt a bit vulnerable or a bit exposed.
Yeah.
So then I was like, when the project dropped, I've always wanted to do an intimate gig in anyways, but I
Yeah.
wanted to do it for the people that are around me and kind of bring it back to them in a sense. Like,
That's
I
what
don't
I
know
was
why,
gonna
I
say,
just
yeah.
had an urge to, like, do you know what I mean? I just have it calling to do that. I'm like,
Yeah.
right, I'm going to do that. So I was like, fuck it, I want to do that.
But that was very vulnerable and very brave of you as well, man. Because it was a lot of
Yeah.
family and a lot of friends and a lot of people in your community.
Yeah. I
That
like
the
to think-
songs are kind of like
Yeah, of
about my
course,
sense. So
of
like,
course.
how was it for you to like rap in front of them, being like, you know what I mean? Like, you have all kind of play a part in me making this project, or like, it's
Yeah.
kind of like, I know it's your project, but it's also like little parts of them.
Yeah,
Yeah,
of course.
man. You know?
No, definitely, man. Their stories are so intertwined with it as well. That was hard, but like, I've kind of just taken risks since I started doing this. Like,
Yeah.
and the reason why is I took a risk doing the Vision Lab open mic. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I did, and I was I really didn't think I was able to do that. Boys, like, I
Really,
didn't think
yeah.
that was gonna happen. I thought I would have froze. Like, you know, I really didn't think I was gonna be able to get through that. And then from that just bred positivity, and I was just like,
Just more
man,
and more
I
of
have
that.
to
Like,
just keep taking risks and taking chances. Like, and the showcase was like, I wanted to do it, but there was something in me stopping me doing it. So I was
Yeah.
like, right, I definitely have to do this.
just
so
the
it was like,
fear of it. Like,
just do it. I have
I
to do
love
it.
that, man.
Yeah.
That's,
And
yeah,
man,
that's
you
brilliant.
seen me on that day, man. I
Yeah.
was rattled. I was so nervous. I didn't
Yeah.
want my parents to hear me saying some of the shit that I'm saying. You know, I
Yeah.
didn't want that, but it was like, after it felt lovely. Like, I got to have moments with them people, and it was like, it was full circle for me, man. Do you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
100%, man.
and it is like you're saying about stories too. Like, I'd me auntie there, like, and I talk about stuff that she's gone through as well, like in that, and like, she lost my cousin, like he was killed years ago, and like, even that, it's like that can bring up so much for her. Like, she's sitting there in front of you, like, do you know what I mean? And that's where you feel like the weight and the responsibility, but that just comes back in, and whenever I doubt anything I'm saying in that, it's like I'll go back to like telling myself why I'm doing this, which is like, I'm telling that story because I'm trying to change something there, like, you know.
Nice, bro.
And if I need to tell that story, because that is, again, our story. That, so it was like, for me, it's important to do that. And whenever I get stuck around like that, I just go back to that, like, this is why I'm
that's a
doing
nice
it
thing
for.
to hold on to, man.
It's easier to stand on. It's easier to
Yeah.
stand on than fuck bitches get money. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You don't really doubt. You can doubt yourself, but when you go back to such a strong thing as to why you're doing it, which is like, I'm telling this story so that I can try to spark a change within this, so that this doesn't happen to other people. It's like,
And did that breed like conversations then with people in your family?
I had to talk. I talked to my mum, my dad more so to filter
Just warn
information
them
out.
about it, like.
Yeah, just like trigger warning before he's come to this. When you listen to it, you know, just
Yeah.
like you might hear some shit, but again, man, that's art, man. If you're gonna go to a gallery and you're gonna look at a painting, you might see something fucked up that fucks with you, you know.
Yeah.
But it's very tough to walk into a gallery and see all the paintings are about you.
Yeah.
You know?
Jesus,
So
man.
That's
there's
what I
an
was
extra,
wondering,
there's
yeah,
an extra thing with that. But to be honest, man, before that gig, I had intentions of doing more of that, like reaching out more to everybody. But I kind of just fed messages to both sides, like Trinidad. I was like, right, pass the info around, like, I'm not, like, warn them in that way, kind of thing, you know. But after it, like, I've gotten like the feedback I've
feeling,
gotten,
bro, yeah.
like the feedback I get off them and got off them, I don't get the sense of anything other than like
Yeah.
proud
And it's
stuff.
nice, man.
that
Nice.
means probably more to you than having some random. I'd be like, oh, that was a
Yeah, of
class
course,
album,
man.
you
Like,
know?
I want to do me family proud as well. Do you know
Yeah.
what I mean? Like, I want to, especially if I'm talking their story, like, I don't want to butcher anything or do anything not a service. Like, I actually want to put my heart into it. Like, do you know what I
Fair
mean?
play,
do it,
bro.
do it justice, man. Do you know
Fair
what I
play,
mean?
man.
No, I think that definitely comes across, man. Even I was proud of it. Like, I even said to Mick, I was like,
Yeah.
man, I'm so, like, proud of you and fair play to you, because like, I don't even think I'd be able to do that. Like, it's your whole family and friends.
Of
It's
course, and I'm talking about like fucking people sitting on my face and all. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
It's just,
do you know what I
it's
mean?
red. I'm talking about all the deep shit. Like,
yeah,
there's loads of this
yeah.
stuff as well.
I'm not gonna lie, bro. That was one of my favorite things about that.
That was,
Because I was on the decks, man, and I could see your dad. And he thought it was something about head or something. He was just sitting there, man.
Yeah,
With his whole face. I was like, this is class.
Well, again, and that's why I love me man, me dad, man, because I've gotten such support off them. Like, you know.
Your man was grooving to a few of the tracks, though, man.
yeah.
No,
Yeah.
and again, like, it's not
Honestly.
it's not their cup of tea. They don't
Yeah.
get it at all.
Yeah.
Not a hip hop
But-
crowd either.
But the
yeah.
fact they support you,
Yeah,
still
they,
that
man, they know.
That's lovely, bro. That
Yeah.
is really nice.
Like, they know, like, kind of the journey that I've been on, and like, I was such a quiet person. Like, I was very like withdrew from everything and everybody.
Yeah.
Like, I was never, even as a kid. All I did as a kid was like curse a lot. Apparently, like, that's, I was everyone always says I was a little bastard, like, a really bad kind of bold kid, nearly, like, when I was really young.
yeah.
But then I just went very quiet. Like, I just was kind of
Same.
withdrawn from everybody.
Yeah.
So I hid a lot and stuff like that. I think they're just really proud that I'm actually able to like stand on it
yourself
and
out
be
there
like,
now.
yeah.
No,
So
yeah.
that feeling is the best, because if they did hate it, it would hurt. Do you know what I mean? So
Yeah.
it does help, like, you know. But I feel like if I just got up there and chatted all that stupid shit
Yeah.
for the whole lot,
Yeah.
I don't think
would,
we'd all be feeling it. Do you know what I
Yeah,
mean?
of course, man.
So I think it's because they get the realness. Like, I give everything, man.
Yeah.
You're gonna get the whole lot. You're not
Yeah.
just gonna get like one side of
Yeah.
it. You know?
That's what Layer Cake is as well, though, because obviously we talked about community aspects and like the, you know, the culture and stuff,
Yeah.
but it's huge for you though, man. Do you know what I
Yeah,
mean?
of course.
And that's, I think
The
that's a
good, the
beautiful
bad, and the
thing.
ugly, man. Do you know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like, nothing nearly off limits in it. I go to every place, like, and
Yeah.
I said that at the last gig that I did, but I was like, I really just pulled everything. Like, I don't have anything left to say after that album now. Like, you know, just in terms of me, I want to start shifting to other things. Of course, I'm not stuck to write or anything. Like, not at all. I can rap, but I mean, like, in terms of like needing to pull anything out for myself, well, I feel like I've gone through
You've got past that
a
part.
lot.
How does
a hell of a lot
that
of shit.
feel, bro?
Good, man. Like,
Yeah.
and still, it's not like just, oh, you write an album and you're over everything that's ever
Yeah.
happened to you. It's not. It's just you have a different perspective, man. When you're
Yeah.
writing, you're processing. When you're making a track, like, I use all my raps as like that, like, what's it called, vessel for me,
Yeah.
like, because I don't do a lot of the other stuff that I should be doing in terms of talking about it or sharing things or whatever like that. So
Yeah.
I kind of use my music for that as well.
Yeah.
So that's been a huge help to me, because even if I got no streams, no shows, no nothing, just the fact of making the project and what it's done for me as a person, like,
Yeah, it's
to
like
just get
strong.
clarity and perspective on things, and to
Huge, man. Huge.
realize what's important, because through the writing and the synthesizing of like burning away the shit that I don't
Yeah.
really want to say and honing in, like, I've gotten to a place where like this project, like going back to the themes, they're the things that I've now realized are important to me, like, you know.
Yeah.
So that's kind of
Ah, well done, bro.
where the direction of my life will probably go from now. Will be
Yeah.
more into like helping with those things, whether it is still staying working in my community, or, you know, we obviously exploring those other teams.
Yeah.
That's where I'm gonna always, I think my heart will always be there if you get me.
Nah, I respect it,
I
man.
love that, man.
Can I do a shameless bit of promo?
Yeah.
A little bit of a plug.
Yeah, go on.
Oh.
When's the video dropping, bro? There's a video of that event.
Oh yeah, we need to sort this out.
Actually, yeah, I
I'm
heard
gonna-
there's a video and I haven't seen any snippets of it.
I'm gonna drop it. Yeah, I've just been not been well today, and had
I'll
a
take your
Christmas
time
party
with it,
on
man.
the weekend. I was a
Yeah.
bit groggy. I've been I'm gonna do it.
Man, because if people I saw like the end of that video, man.
I think what I'm
Yeah,
saying about my
people-
family and that moment, I think if you watch the end
Ah,
of that video,
boys.
you'll see it. I just get embraced by everyone, but it's just such a nice moment, and stuff comes back in. Copypock Ian done the best job
Yeah,
on it.
shout out to
Shout
him.
out.
He
man.
got the
Ian, man.
song and chops it in, and then you just hear Stuck playing, and you hear the medium like speaking and all in it as well. And then it just like
It's
my
all
whole
right.
family are mobbing me, like, do you know what I mean? They're all hugging me and all, and then it's just like it just fades out. Then it's
Oh
just-
man, send us a link
If
to
that's
that,
out
man.
by the time that this is out, man, check that out.
When's
People
this
watching.
drop?
This will probably be
Next week.
next
is it?
Tuesday, I think, right?
It'll be out by then.
Yeah.
100%.
So here to the people watching, man, check out Layer Cake. Check out the album.
Be on the D12 Inc. YouTube page.
Subscribe to that, man. Subscribe to that. We hit 100 subs there not too long ago, so I was a bit buzzed. But check that out, man. A lot of good stuff. But man, just is there anything on the album now you want to say, or have you
I
touched on
think
it
I'm
all?
touched on everything on the album now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
First,
It's
well,
only 10 songs, like it's not fucking a book.
No,
No.
but it's a solid project, man.
Yeah,
thanks,
solid
boys.
project.
just want to say congratulations on
Thanks,
that.
Yeah.
lads. Appreciate it.
And commend you on just being real, man. Just
Oh,
being
well,
genuine.
one thing I want to say is obviously thanks. I've said this already in the event and all.
Yeah,
but
of
just
course.
for the camera. Thanks to all of you boys for the help.
Bro.
Do you know what I mean? Especially yourself for the amount of
Privilege,
hours
bro.
we put in on it. You
Yeah,
know.
Yeah.
Again, I wouldn't have made the project. I don't think without all the help, because I wasn't there. I'm not there yet at a
Yeah.
level to pull in a project and make it and do everything.
It's
by
hard to
myself.
do all by yourself.
Fuck that, man. That's
Yeah.
way too hard. And just even for the reassurance, we're like, no, this is good. You know,
Yeah.
because like remember I said about that league of tracks that gets
Yeah.
relegated and promoted.
Yeah.
You know, you can be you need a second opinion on some of this
Yeah.
shit. You know, so it's always nice to bounce stuff off. You boys especially, like, you know. So
Class.
I have to say thanks for that as well, because it wouldn't have came
Bro,
together,
you're
man.
welcome, man.
Yeah, and
Yeah,
all
you're
the
welcome
production
100
is,
times over.
all the production. I know on a bit of Laura Cake as well. Like we
Yeah, I
have,
want to get into it, bro.
we've
Yeah.
so much shit in that
Yeah.
to get into, around the production. So
Yeah.
or maybe you get into that.
So, man, basically, I'd say we'll do Laura Cake in a different video or something,
Yeah,
just because
yeah. We'll leave
Cameras
Laura
running
Cake
out
for a
juice.
bit more mystique. Maybe I'll do
Yeah.
a different video about the
Yeah,
Laura
I
Cake.
think we should. I think
Yeah.
we should, because there's actually a lot to break down. So, to close out the episode, Curtis, been a solid guest, bro. You're a solid
Thanks,
bloke,
lads.
solid artist, man, solid all
Appreciate
round, bro.
you.
So to close out, man, is there anything you want to say or anything you want to touch on? Anyone you want to shout out? Anything like that?
No, I'll just keep it brief now. I've already said thank you and stuff like that. If the cameras didn't get that, I did say thanks to the boys for all our help. But no, just looking forward to what the new year brings and all this. I'm after doing 2 gigs. I've already done one of the gigs and I'm doing another one on Friday. So this will be out. It'll be like a few days beforehand. But looking forward to them doing sets of Layer Cake, hearing what resonates with people. You know, kind of learning a little bit now, like putting it out to the public in that sense. And yeah, just a big hunger to come back in the new year and just really, really do the music well and do it right and try to get better shows and just do more and keep challenging myself. I want to work with a band as well, so I'm looking for our band.
Class.
I kind of have the semblance. I know a few people and I know kind of people that we could do a makeshift type
Put them
thing.
together, bro. Yeah.
So I'm looking to see what happens, but I want to do a show with the Banks. I feel like if I give the music to them, they can do something with it themselves. And then it can just makes that. Remember, like I've done the intimate, like, do you know what I mean? I've done the sitting close to the family. Now it's like I want to like have fun with people and like, you know,
Have a
just
buzz
get into
off
that,
it.
just get into that side of it. And
Yeah.
I really want to step it up, man. If I had a wish list, there's like a few little things that I want to have achieved by the end of it, but I'll keep them to myself, like, do you know?
Nice.
But
Write them down though, so you can show people when
so
you
I can
achieve
show
them.
it.
Yeah.
Sure, I could just 3 random things could happen and then I just write it down. Well, yeah, no, I'm just hungry for that. Really just want to fucking kick on now, man. I feel like it took me so long to get to this place to feel like safe enough and good enough skill wise as well, but also comfortable enough with myself that I could actually stand out there and stand on this. So now that I have that feeling, I want to just keep going and seeing how far I can push it, because I think I owe myself that, you know, to give it a real go now, you know. And there is an appetite for hip hop in Ireland, especially now, and the stuff that I'm talking about is stuff that I think needs to be said as well. So I really want to just go hard with it like next year and just see where I end up at the end of it all. Like, and that doesn't mean like I'm looking for a load of money or a load of things out of it, but just want to push myself and see how far I can push this by the end of the year and work with other people. Another little thing I want to do as well is I want to make like, I want to develop my sound a bit more too. So even if people see this and they're producers or anything like that, get on to me as well. If you'd like some new stuff, man. Like I really want to try create a new sound again. I think Layer Cake, we done well like with what we did. It's very cohesive because it's the album. So now I want to branch off and make some mad shit and, you know, so I want to get into all that. So that's kind of what the year I'm hoping for. And anyways, you know, just kind of step up me level again, like kind of follow the same motivation that I've been on since I started this bit of a journey, like, you know. So that's my goals for the next little while.
I'm sure you're well able for it.
Yeah, hopefully. And as well, they're not yet, because I'm going to get them better quality. Mine's starting to wreck already. But I'm going around with these jumpers and I have t-shirts and all that. I'm going to start selling them because I need to start kind of monetizing myself in some kind of way.
Yeah.
And like I said, I've always been into clothes, and anyways, I've always made clothes too. So I want to lean into that a little bit more. And I just had a buzz because I had one of Annie, she's a poet, in Dublin. She won a jumper off me and she wore it to a gig and stuff. Or
Nice.
t-shirt it was. It was just cool to see that, like, knowing there's people walking around wearing them is like gave me a little buzz. So I want to engage more with people, especially like I know not a lot of people have heard me yet, but I'm kind of look forward to making them connections with people and meeting people through the music and having people that, if please God, people listen to it and like, fuck, I like this, you know what I mean? Like that'd be such a buzz, and I want to do good shows for those people and put on like a good performance and stuff like
The
that.
last performance was so good, man.
Yeah, I know, and I have me a few things, like I know I'm not the finished article yet either, like I have a lot to be working on, so just more of that in the new year, and I just really want to give it a good go.
Well done to you, man. I think you've had a solid year, man, to be honest, no?
Yeah.
And I think next year is only going to be bigger and better, man. I can't wait to see what you do next music wise as well, bro.
Yeah. No, thanks, boys.
Boys, give it up to Curtis there.
Everything.
Come on, man. Do it for yourself as well, man. Fuck it.